One, two, three. Testing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Sorry about that, guys. I hope that you're all doing well, and I hope that you're all having yourselves a very, very fantastic day. Apologize about being late, but we are here, and it is almost time for Phillies baseball to get underway. Hopefully, you're all having yourselves a very fantastic Monday. Monday night, to be exact. Today is April 15th, and it's not just an ordinary day. Of course, today is also Jackie Robinson Day, so a lot to talk about in regards to that throughout the broadcast tonight, and we will make sure that we give a lot of kudos and, talk more about not just the overall day, but give you a little bit of some history about today and the significance that it holds, not just to baseball, but throughout American history as well. So, I'm excited about that, and I hope that you guys are excited to join me along with this ride in regards to the game for tonight. Phillies are 4-6 at home. They're in the middle of a 10-game homestand, so they're taking on the Rockies, and that's who they're starting their next series off against. They did not end the way that they wanted to against the Pittsburgh Pirates. It was not really a good ending yesterday. They ended up losing yesterday's match, and we'll get into the more of the nuts and bolts in regards to that. But in regards to this series, what the Phillies really need to do tonight, Aaron Nola's taking the mound, so he's going to be on the rubber. He pitched really well in his last performance against the St. Louis Cardinals. Corey Seidman, courtesy of NBC Sports, he talked about how Nola actually changed his windup a little bit. He said that he wasn't he sort of wasn't kicking his knee up as high in his last performance, and it actually helped him with his velocity and just with the speed of his fastballs and his breaking pitches as well. And that was something that he worked on, and that was something that was really, really cool. So, can you guys hear me? Let me know if you guys can hear me. I hope that you can. But all right, so of course the Phillies are in their pinstripes today, but they have the blue number 42 on the back of their jerseys. The lineup's just coming underway. It's 77 degrees, winds blowing southwest at 9 miles per hour. So it is a gorgeous day outside, especially for baseball weather. Kind of makes you think about the summertime with just the temperatures rising high. All right. Hopefully you guys are tuning in. Make sure you comment who you are down below. Want to give a shout out to Will and Katie and La Panda. What's up, La Panda? He said, love from Jiva News' stream. That's awesome. What's going on, Daniel? How you doing, man? How are you doing? All right, so Aaron Nola will be taking the mound for the Phillies. Again, the Phillies are in their pinstripes with the number 42 on the back in honor of Jackie Robinson Day. This is when, in 1947, is when he made his first appearance at the major league level. Sun is still shining, and it's shining pretty bright over on the pitching mound for the Phillies. There's a really cool angle that is giving you a little 360 of the mound on the NBC Sports app. There's some clouds in the sky, though, but they're very friendly clouds, as the rain hopefully will stay away. So Charlie Blackmon will be leading things off for the Rockies. He's the designated hitter for tonight's game. Ezequiel Tovar, the shortstop. Ryan McMahon is the third baseman, who's batting third in the lineup. And then it'll be Elias Diaz, who is catching behind the plate, batting in the cleanup spot. Nolan Jones out in left field. Brendan Rodgers over at second base. Elias Montero is the first baseman. Michael Toslia is out in right field. He's batting eighth. And Brenton Doyle is batting ninth. He's the center fielder, and he is batting in the final spot of the Rockies lineup. So again, the lineup for the Rockies, it's Blackmon, Tovar, McMahon, Diaz, Jones, Rodgers, Montero, Toslia, Doyle, and then on the mound, of course, for them is Quantrill. But let's talk a little bit about Aaron Nola. So Aaron Nola coming into today, when you look at his stats, well, he has pitched in 3 starts. He's gone 16 innings. He has a 4.5 ERA. and 10 strikeouts and only 8 walks allowed. So here's Charlie Blackmon, who is stepping in on the left side of the plate. Blackmon now in his late 30s. Started off, he was drafted by the Rockies back in 2008. What a story he has been. And just the fact that he's been able to get to where he has been in his career, absolutely wild. So he steps in towards the box wearing his black cleats and his black elbow guards as well. Also has black batting gloves too. So the Phillies getting ready underway as Nola winds up, kicks, delivers, and throws a 92-mile-per-hour fastball in the upper third of the zone. And that's how we start things off. It's in there for a strike. Blackmon against Nola is batting .407 with 11 hits and 27 at-bats throughout his career. The 0-1 on the way from Nola. Here it is. Popped up. Over towards the infield. JT behind the plate. Takes off the mask. And he'll make the catch. Had to battle the lights. But no harm, no done. And there's one away. Crew chief for tonight, you got DJ Rayburn, who's behind the plate calling the balls and the strikes. Brandon Miller over at first base. Brian O'Nora, who's over at second. And then Paul Clemens, who is the third base umpire. Stepping into the box now is Ezequiel Tovar. And Nola getting ready to face him with 3 seconds left on the pitch clock. Nobody on, 1 out in the top of the first inning. And the first pitch to Tovar is on the outside corner for a called strike. So he takes a fastball. Tovar batting .317 on the season with 3 homers and 8 RBI, along with a .533 slugging percentage. Nola gets the sign, starts his delivery, and throws the next pitch outside for a ball. Phillies defensive lineup from 1 through 9. It'll be Nola, JT, and over at first, from first to third, it'll be Harper, Stott, Whit Merrifield over at third for Alec Boehm and Trey Turner. The 1-1 on the way. It's on the outside corner for a called strike. And then in the outfield, it'll be Marsh in left, Rojas in center, and Castellanos out in right field. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Ezequiel Tovar. Nola winds up in the 1-2 pitch, fouled back towards the screen. Bud Black, of course, the manager of the Colorado Rockies, has been with them for over 4 seasons now. Was a manager for the San Diego Padres before he went to Colorado. What's going on, Mike? How you doing? What's up, Butterfly? 1 ball, 2 strikes. Nola kicks, delivers, and the 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. A knuckle curve on the outside part of the plate, and Tovar strikes out swinging. There's 2 outs. Well, that knuckle curve had a lot of movement to it. And we talk about just the different types of pitches that Nola has thrown this season. He's gone to his 4-seamer about 32.8% of the time. The knuckle curve, that's had a bigger tick since last season. He's now using that 28.4% of the time, and it's been very, very good. Here's Ryan McMahon, who steps in on the left side of the box and takes a ball upstairs to make the count 1-0. So Blackmon popped out to JT, and Tovar struck out. 2 outs, base is empty. Nola with 8 pitches in this inning so far, and the 1-0 is inside for ball 2. Pretty big crowd here at Citizens Bank Park. Lots of short sleeve shirts and shorts. It's just that type of weather today. The 2-0 on the way, low for ball 3. So Ryan McMahon playing over at third base has had a very good start to the season and has been arguably the Rockies' best hitter. 3 balls, no strikes. 2 seconds left on the pitch clock, and the pitch. There's a fly ball. It's hit out towards center field. Not that deep, though. Rojas, with his sunglasses on, backs up towards the track, and he'll make the catch about 2 inches in front of the left center field track, and that's going to do it. So, a 1-2-3 inning for Aaron Nola, and the Phillies' bats are coming up as we head to the bottom of the first. I think that was my best first inning that I've done this season. I feel very loose today. But I hope that you're all doing well, and I hope that you're all having yourselves a very fantastic day. It's baseball mode now. If it didn't start on March 27th, it's definitely baseball season now. With this type of weather that's outside, it's beautiful. It is. It's a beautiful night to go out, enjoy some hot dogs, and watch some baseball. 90 degrees in Virginia today, says Mike. Ooh, wow. So nice of those of us away from Philly. Oh, thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah, so my name is Jason Joseph. If you guys are new to the channel, all right, I do play-by-play for a lot of Phillies games. I also do it for the Sixers, and I do it for the Eagles as well. So obviously, if you are a basketball fan, make sure that you follow us with all the content that you need in regards to the play-in tournament on Wednesday, and we will be covering the Sixers throughout the playoffs. We also have our scoreboards up here for the Flyers because they need some help tonight if they want to get into the playoffs. So we got the 3 scoreboards right underneath the NHL scores, and we'll talk more about that later. But let's get into the starting lineup right now for the Philadelphia Phillies. So Kyle Schwarber will be leading things off. He's the DH. Then it's Trey Turner over at shortstop. Bryce Harper's at first. JT's behind the plate. He's batting 4th. Brandon Marsh out in left field, hitting 5th. Castellanos batting 6th out in right field. Stott is the second baseman. He's batting 7th. And no Alec Bohm today. He has the day off, or the evening off, I should say. Whit Merrifield is the third baseman. He's hitting 8th in the order. And Johan Rojas is batting 9th. He's out in center field. So Schwarber steps in to the plate. On the mound is Cal Quantrill, and he throws a changeup that misses outside for ball 1. Quantrill this season so far has gone 15 innings. He has a 7.2 ERA. As the 1-0 pitch is low for ball 2. But the other thing about him is that he has 10 strikeouts. He has an 0-2 record and 5 walks. The 2-0 pitch to Schwarber. Ground ball headed over towards first, and the underhanded scoop over to Cal Quantrill is in time to get Schwarber out. So Montero over at first base. All he had to do was just play it on a couple of bounces and just underhand throw it over towards Cal Quantrill, who won the race to the bag, and that's how we have 1 gone. And now Trey Turner's coming up to the plate. Turner went 6 for 16 against the Pirates with a homer, 2 runs scored, and 2 RBI. In the first pitch, he swings and misses at a sinker that's on the outside corner for a strike. He has a .313 average against the Rockies throughout his career, and that's pretty close to the average he has this season. It's .302. The 0-1 outside for ball 1. So 1 ball, 1 strike. We're in the bottom of the first inning. The Rockies taking on the Phillies to start off a 3-game set. And here comes a cutter that's low and outside for ball 2. Schwarber grounded out to first. And now Trey Turner is up to bat. 2 balls, 1 strike. Quantrill gets set, kicks, steals the pitch. It's popped up over towards shallow left field, over towards the shortstop side, and making the catch is Tovar for the easy out. And Bryce Harper is now due up next. Defensively for the Rockies, it's Quantrill on the mound. Diaz is behind the plate. And then from first to third, it's Montero, Rogers, McMahon, and Tovar. And from left to right, it's Jones, Doyle, and Taglia. Harper, who takes the first pitch down low for ball 1. Bryce is 2 for his last 30. Is a 190 average on the season, and 3 homers and 7 RBI. The 1-0 pitch by Quantrill is just outside for ball 2. So that makes the count 2-0. DJ Rayburn, of course, calling the balls and the strikes behind the plate. Brendan Miller's the first base umpire. Over at second, it's Brian O'Nora. Paul Clemens at third. And the 2-0 is upstairs for ball 3. 2 outs, nobody on in the bottom of the first inning. 3 balls, no strikes to Bryce Harper. Quantrill gets set, kicks, delivers, and Harper gets a green light, but he fouls it off. JT waits in the on-deck circle. Harper in the last series went 2 for 16 with a double, 2 walks, and 5 strikeouts. He's looking to snap out of this funk that he's been in. The 3-1 pitch, fouled again, and the count is now full at 3-2. Who else is here in the chat, man? Just wanted to make sure I said hello to each and every one of you. I'm here in Jersey, but my buddy lives in Roanoke. Oh, wow, that's really cool. Hopefully you're all doing well. The 3-2 on the way, upstairs and outside for ball 4, but they do try to check his swing, and the third base umpire, Clemens, says Harper did not go. And there's the first base runner of the evening for the game. So JT's coming up. So now the sun is shining over towards the right field side. It was shining on the pitcher's mound to start off the top of the first, and it has shifted all the way back over to right field. First pitch to JT is just a cutter at 87 miles per hour, which is in there for a strike. You're going to see a lot of cutters from Cal Quantrill and a lot of fastballs as well. 0-1 is the count. Phillies in their pinstripes on Jackie Robinson Day. No balls, 1 strike, 2 outs, and the 0-1. It's a check swing ground ball over towards shortstop, barehanded by Tovar. The throw over to first. It's just in time. Oh my gosh, what a play by Tovar. He's quite an athlete. He barehanded it and just threw it over to first. LINKTREE is at the phone to see if the Phillies should review this. It was just a bang-bang play by Tovar's sidearm throw, and just barely, maybe by a quarter of a step, got JT out, and the side is retired. So the Phillies leave Harper over at first, and we go to the top of the second. Rockies coming back up to bat. All right. JJ, do you work outside of YouTube? I do some freelancing stuff, but mainly I've been, ever since I started this channel, I first started this channel when I was working at NFL Films. I was interning there, but I've honestly just been doing this pretty much. You know what I mean? I've really been taking the gamble on myself, and I've really tried to take advantage of digital media and seeing where that takes me. That's really what I've been doing. If you guys are new to the channel, and if you do enjoy our content that we provide on here, make sure you hit the thumbs up button and hit the subscribe button as well. Feel free to also leave a super chat down below. You're more than welcome to do that if you choose to do so. All right, so the Phillies go to the top of the second inning. They're 8-8 overall. They have a 4-6 record at home this season. And the Rockies, they are 4-12 and have a 2-8 record on the road. You're doing amazing. Great. Keep up the great work, JJ. I appreciate that. I seriously do. You know, I've noticed that sometimes when we do this, it's so easy to lose track of what work really does mean. Okay, and I sometimes, off the air may complain about, certain things. Oh, like I got this and I got this and I got this to do. But in the grand scheme of things, I'm very fortunate, and I don't take that for granted. And I'm really lucky to be able to not only choose this career path, but go the way that I'm doing it and have the support that I have behind me. And I'm very thankful, and that goes out to my parents, and that goes out to everybody that has really supported me throughout this time over the last 15, 16 months. We go to the top of the second inning. Nola is back out there for his second inning of work and throws a knuckleball that's outside for ball 1. Here is Elias Diaz, who is hitting .311 on the season and has 1 long ball and 7 RBI to go along with that. Nola kicks, winds up, and delivers, and throws the 1-0 just at the knees for a called strike, and that'll even the count at 1 apiece. Diaz was an all-star last year and has had a very good start to the season for the Colorado Rockies. He's now 33 years old, and he was one of those quote-unquote late boomers, if you will, who really made an impact later on in his career. The 1-1 is way outside from Nola for ball 2. He has a $14.5 million contract, and he's from Maracaibo, Venezuela. Hopefully I said that correctly. The 2-1 on the way from Nola, swinging a bouncer over towards the third base side. It's drifting towards the dugout, though, so that'll even the count at 2 apiece. Made his Major League debut back in 2015 with the Pirates and spent about 5 seasons with them. He's been with the Rockies since 2020. The 2-2 on the way. Fly ball hit out towards right field. Castellanos doesn't even flinch, and he'll make the catch just in front of the sunlight. So 4 up, 4 down for Aaron Nola, and Nolan Jones will be the next guy to come up to the plate. Only 16 pitches for Nola so far, too. And again, I mentioned this before, but, Nola in his last outing, what made him so effective is he throws the first pitch that's in there for a strike. Corey Seidman talked about it before and said that he shortened his windup just a little bit, and it actually really helped him gain some confidence with throwing not just his fastball, but with the knuckle curve as well. The 0-1 on the way throws a cutter that's inside, and it misses. 2015, wasn't that the year we had Aaron Harang? I don't even remember Aaron Harang even being on the Phillies. But maybe you're right. What's going on, RG Energy? 1 ball, 1 strike to Nolan Jones, and the pitch is on the upper third of the zone for a strike, and it's now a 1-2 count. Jones playing out in left field today. He's in his 3rd season. He's 25 years old. He's from Langhorne, Pennsylvania, and was a Guardian 2nd-round draft pick back in 2016. Pretty tall guy. Hitting 190, though, on the season. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Nola kicks, delivers, and the pitch is fouled off. It was an inside pitch, but we'll try to do it again. Nola wearing his beautiful necklace chain just over the pinstripes. He's gone with 20 pitches so far. He gets set again just at the letters. And the 1-2 pitch. Low for ball 2. JT has a dark blue chest protector on. And he also has the dark blue shin guards to go along with that too. 2 balls, 2 strikes. And the pitch. Chopped foul over towards the first base dugout. Jones has been fouling off a lot of pitches in this at-bat as we just approached the 7 o'clock hour. Just 1 strikeout so far, and that was to Ezequiel Tovar. 2 balls, 2 strikes. 1 out. Base is empty in the top of the 2nd, and the 2-2, another foul ball back towards the screen. All right, so what are your final score predictions? Let us know down below what you guys think the final score of this game is going to be. 7 pitches in this at-bat, 3 foul balls. The count is even at 2 apiece, 3 seconds left on the pitch clock. And Nola has to get cooking with 1 second left, and here's the windup and the pitch. Low and in the dirt for ball 3. Nola wearing his, that's Harper. They're showing Harper's cleats. They're like a bright blue, yellow, and sort of a creamish color, all blended together. The 3-2 on the way from Nola. Swing and a miss. A knuckle curve that was on the inside corner, and Jones strikes out, and 5 up, 5 down for Nola. I was thinking that he was going to go to the knuckle curve, and I was more so surprised that he decided to go a little bit inside with it. But nonetheless, it was executed perfectly. JT called it. And here we go. Montero is coming up to the plate, batting on the right side. And he takes the first one wide for ball 1. His name is Eleoris Montero. Spells it E-L-E-H-U-R-I-S. Eleoris. That's how you pronounce it. The 1-0, just on the outside corner, painted perfectly for a strike. Eldridge says that the Phillies are going to win 3-1. 11-0 is the final score that RG Energy predicts. So, the 1-1 on the way. It's in there for a strike. We're in the top of the second. Nobody on base. Phillies taking on the Colorado Rockies, who were 4-12 on the season. And the Phillies, of course, are 8-8 at home. They split the 4-game set against Pittsburgh, still in the middle of a 10-game homestand. The 1-2, low again and outside for ball 2. Two balls, 2 strikes. And the next pitch tapped over towards the first base side. Gobbled up, though, by Stott as he had to shuffle his feet over towards the left side and throw it sidearm to first. And the inning comes to an end. Some kids eating some cotton candy. And, well, the Phillies, hopefully they're in for a treat today if the Phillies come up to bat and get some hits going. And that's what they'll do as we go to the bottom of the second. Wish that close that was a little bit better. I was trying to work on my TV broadcast because sometimes, and the one thing I learned from doing TV for the very first time, I have a lot of experience, of course, with radio. With radio, you have a lot of flexibility because, as Vince Scully once said, you bring the paints with you, right? And you bring the tools, you bring the brushes, you bring the whole palette with you, and you create the picture. On TV, the picture's already there. It's a director's medium, and you have to make sure that you fill in the blanks, right? You're giving the presentation, and the pictures are telling the story. So that's why you got to watch the monitor, and I learned that when I did my first game on Sunday, and that was something that I really, really struggled with, but that's something that I do have to get better at. While people are talking in your ear and telling you where they're going to go next. But that was something, long story short, I just wanted to practice that. You don't have to hear me rant about doing TV. A treat. I see what you did there. Yes. I was trying to do something creative, but yes. Yeah, so if I don't get to all your comments, I do apologize. I did see that John Sterling is retiring, and he's giving a press conference. I believe it's going to be on Friday, as Ken Rosenthal reported on Twitter, or on X, as the kids call it now these days. And, yes, I did see that. I'm curious to see what's going to happen. But, you know, obviously a phenomenal play-by-play announcer, has a lot of iconic calls, and he will be missed for sure. So we go to the bottom of the second inning. Brandon Marsh steps into the box, and he takes the first pitch on the outside corner at the knees for a called strike. Marsh has been hitting very well for the Phillies, and that's why Rob has moved him up in the lineup as the 0-1 is tapped over to second base, and the throw over to first is in plenty of time by Brendan Rodgers. I was looking at my scorecard a little bit earlier, and originally Rodgers was supposed to be hitting sixth, and Elio Reese Montero was supposed to be batting seventh. But I'm looking at the scorecard, and I'm like, well, either somebody screwed up on the ESPN app, or they just made a last-minute change. Either way, we're still moving on. First pitch to Castellanos, and it's a high fly ball hit out towards left center field. But making the catch just in front of the track is Doyle for out number 2. Castellanos got a fastball that was right down the pipe and just missed a home run. So Marsh grounded out to second, and Castellanos flies out to center, and we have 2 away. Just 1 base runner in this game so far, and that was on a walk for Bryce Harper. Now it's Bryson Stott who's at the plate, and Quantrill gets set, kicks, delivers, and throws it wide. Bryson, his average has not been up to par when you compare him over the last couple of seasons, just hitting .224, and he takes the next pitch on the outside corner for a called strike. But I don't really think it's too concerning. I think that eventually he's just going to get going. The pitch, a splitter. That was the first splitter that I've seen today from Quantrill, and it's in the dirt for ball 2. I think that the kid just finished his cotton candy. He has a little bit of schmutz on his face, but hopefully he gets a napkin and cleans that up. I don't see if the parents are there. Oh, yep, there it is. Okay, he's wiping it off. The father's rubbing it off, and the kid's just like, oh, come on, Dad. Come on. 3 balls, 1 strike, and the pitch outside and high for ball 4. And there's the second walk allowed today by Cal Quantrill. I've had those moments, and I'm sure that you've all had them too. But parents are parents, and kids are kids. Here comes Whit Merrifield, who steps into the box. He's just 1 for 18 lifetime against Cal Quantrill with 2 walks. 2 outs, a runner at first, and the first pitch is a sinker that's inside and high for ball 1. Whit, of course, started off his career with the Kansas City Royals and then became a platoon player for the Toronto Blue Jays. Still made it to the All-Star team, though, last year, and now he's with the Phillies. Quantrill throws back to first, and Stott dives back in there safely just to keep him in check. In 9 games, though, against the Rockies, Whit is hitting .415 and has 2 homers and 10 RBI. He's batting just .120 this season. And he's another guy that'll probably get going pretty soon, as the 1-0 pitch is just at the knees for a called strike. You could get Sterling's job. Nope, it's all about connections, my guy. That's exactly what it's all about. It's all about networking and connections. The 1-1 pitch, line drive, and back up the middle. Good play, though, by the second baseman, and the flip over to first is in time. Got to tell you that Rogers was literally on one knee, and he still just was able to dig it out on a hop and make a hot shot throw over to first to end the inning. So it was hit sharply, close but no cigar, and we go to the top of the 3rd inning. Phillies and Rockies scoreless as we go to the 3rd. If Mike Trout becomes available, do you guys trade Rojas and our top prospects? We can play Martian left, or do you guys wait for Juan Soto? Juan Soto's not going anywhere, my guy. Juan Soto is not going anywhere. He's going to be in the blue and white pinstripes for probably the majority of his career moving forward. I could not see the Yankees trading him at all whatsoever, especially with the contract that he signed. So I think that Mike Trout could be a possibility, and I would bring Trout home for sure, but it depends on the package. You need to – I would wait and see where they're at right before the trade deadline. If the Bats really could use somebody else to help them, then I'd say yes, by all means, go for Mike Trout, but you may have to go for a pitcher. And with the way that John Middleton spent a lot of his money this summer, I know that the Phillies do have a lot of assets now. You may need to save some of those assets and maybe get a relief pitcher like Emmanuel Clase or somebody else that is reliable. And those are just my thoughts about it, but I'd like to hear what you guys have to say. Anyone else lose sound? Still have sound. I think it was just you. Larry doesn't want Trout at this point. Yeah, I think that you just wait. You know what I mean? I think it's a wait game type of a thing in regards to Mike Trout. If you are new to the channel, hit the thumbs up button and hit that subscribe button as well. Mike has me now, and now the broadcast can start again. So we go to the the top of the 3rd inning. Lost my spot as Nola throws a strike. It's a curveball. It looked a little bit low, according to StatCast, but it's at the knees. Michael Toglia in the box, hitting just .130 with 3 homers, 6 runs batted in, and only a double after that. The 0-1 pitch that's flared out to shallow center field over towards the alleyway. Rojas comes running in and will make the catch on the run. Got a pretty good read on it. And there's the 7th batter retired in a row for Aaron Nola. Yes, thank you. Let's get back. All right, so Montero. Sorry, Toglia was out, and here's the first pitch to Doyle, and he lines this one out towards right center field, and it's a base hit. It was actually, honestly, right through the 3-4 hole. It was a grounder, hit sharply over towards that right side, and there's the first hit of the day, and it comes by Doyle. So there's one out and a runner over at first base. And now Alan Trejo will be coming up to the plate. I think I got to make a new lineup card because they must have changed their lineup. Well, first pitch is on the outside corner for a strike. Usually when I check the lineups, I usually check them about 3 hours early, but probably should get into the habit of double checking before you go on the air. So lesson to be learned is that even if something is set 3 hours beforehand, always double check your work and make sure that it is correct. The count's now 1-1, and Charlie Blackmon waits in the on-deck circles. That's the first base runner allowed and the first guy to get on for the Colorado Rockies. First base runner allowed by Aaron Nola. Throw back over to first, not in time. The question over the years about Nola is just delivering from the stretch and seeing if he can do a better job at that. First outing wasn't really the sharpest and gave up about 6 runs. The runner goes, and the 1-1 pitch is chopped over towards the second base side, and the flip over to first is in time by Stott. It was a high bouncer, and Brenton Doyle just was able to advance, and that's not recorded as a stolen base, but it's just a ground out, and that probably could have been a double play, easily. Now Charlie Blackmon's coming up to the plate, so Blackmon fouled out in the first, just to JT Realmuto. What's up, Katie? Oh, boy. All right, so Blackmon steps into the box, and he traps this one foul. JT had to play it. He literally played it over on the right side of the box, but it was marked a foul ball. And Blackmon stays alive in the at-bat. 37 pitches for Aaron Nola so far. Phillies in their pinstripes. And, of course, on Jackie Robinson Day are wearing the number 42 on the back side of the jersey. No balls, 1 strike to Charlie Blackmon. 10 seconds left on the pitch clock. And the 0-1 popped foul behind the plate. Blackmon, originally, when he came into Major League Baseball, he was drafted when he was in high school, and he was drafted as a pitcher, but he decided to go to college, and the coach for his college decided, you know what, you're a really fast athlete out in center field. You have a pretty good bat, too. Let's try to help you out and get you some reps out in center. As the 0-2 is flied out to center field, Rojas gets under it, and he makes the catch. And, well, it's honestly revitalized his whole entire career, and he's a 4-time All-Star and has had a very successful career since. And now we go to the bottom of the 3rd inning. Phillies are coming back up to bat, and they will get another chance at it. Probably shouldn't have told that story then, but that's how you live and you learn. There's more to it, though, on that story. I guess that the good thing about this is that we do get breaks on here. But there was an article that was posted about this, about Charlie Blackmon's whole story, and it was posted by the Denver Post. That's where it was published, and it's a very, very good read. If you ever get the chance to read it, you honestly really, really should. It's a very, very good read. I'm trying to find it on here. I thought I had it saved, but I didn't. Of course I didn't have it saved. If you guys are new, make sure you guys like and subscribe and hit the bell icons, and that way you'll know when I go live. Sports and Wrestling Connection, what's going on, man? Appreciate you for coming by yesterday. Yeah, dude, I tried to support everybody, and I tried to give everybody credit where credit is due, and, you guys really do an awesome job with your content that you provide on YouTube, and I have nothing but mad love and respect for you guys. So keep up the hard work, and thank you for supporting me, but I wanted to make sure I supported you because you deserve it, Despite that amazing like button. Yep, make sure you guys do that. I'll get back to that Charlie Blackmon story a little bit later. Thought I had it saved. All right, so Phillies go to the bottom of the third inning. And coming up to bat is Johan Rojas. It'll be 9-1-2 that are coming up. Interesting story about today that I saw on Twitter, and there was a photo of the Dodgers and Nationals players. So the Dodgers, of course, are playing the Nationals, but they were literally surrounding the whole entire Jackie Robinson statue, and it was just so nice just to be able to see that. A guy that literally broke baseball's color barrier on this day in 1947. Now, technically speaking, he wasn't the first original, person of color to play baseball, but he definitely broke a lot of barriers for sure and had an incredible career and made a lot of changes in regards to just, standing up for social justice. And it was a very big social movement, too, for him to just, to be able to play baseball and play it at a very, very high level the way that he did. 1 ball, no strikes to Kyle Schwarber. We're in the bottom of the third, and Rojas got out on the first pitch. So it's a 2-0 count, and the pitch is just on the outside corner for a called strike. So I didn't see how Rojas got out. They didn't show it on TV. 42 is a great movie. If you have not seen that with Chadwick Boseman, it's phenomenal. 2-1 pitch, swing and a miss, and Schwarber chases after a splitter to make it a 2-2 count. I watched the movie when it was back in 2015. I went to the Outer Banks with my family, and I rented the movie out from the library because I did that still even then. You could actually still do that, and kids probably still don't even believe that to this day. You can still rent out movies. And the 2-2 pitch is swung on and missed, and Schwarber strikes out. But my dad and I watched the movie, and it was really moving, and it really did a good job at just telling Jackie Robinson's story, and it gave you a very interesting perspective on just the types of adversity that he had to deal with that you wouldn't really even think about, all the letters that he got and how he just was able to play through it. All right, so here is a line drive down the line. It's a fair ball by Trey Turner as it goes out all the way towards the left field corner. Nolan Jones finally gets to it, and Turner cruises into second base. And it is a double for Trey. Love your stuff, JJ. Watching from Colorado Springs. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. Appreciate that so much, A. Trey Turner has certainly been getting red hot for the Phillies. He's been doing a much better job. Went 6 for 16 in the last series against the Pittsburgh Pirates and had 3 hits in yesterday's outing. Speaking of a guy that can get red hot, it's Bryce Harper who's up at the plate. He's been pretty cold, though, but he can definitely turn it on when he gets red hot. Did walk in the first. We're in the bottom of the third. Turner's over at second. There's 2 outs. Quantrill still on the mound. Looks back at second. Now back to the plate, and the 0-1 is down low. Find it interesting sometimes because, when the pitcher looks back over to second base, it's sort of like a game of cat and mouse. It's like, is the base runner going to move? Look at Trey, and they'll be like, are you going to move? And Trey's like, I don't know. You got to guess. And I think that's what makes the game so cool. The 1-1 splitter that's off the plate. So that makes it now a 2-1 count. Phillies have had 11 straight games without scoring more than 5 runs. The 2-1 on the way, chopped foul over towards the first base side. And that's the longest streak since September of 2018, where they had 16 games without scoring 5 or more runs. The count is even at 2 apiece. JT waits in the on-deck circle. 2 outs, a runner at second. Quantrill gets set and delivers from the stretch. The 2-2 upstairs, and it's a full count now. What's going on, Megan? How you doing? Harper is just hitting 143 with runners in scoring position this season, and he's 2 for his last 30 at the plate. 2 seconds left on the pitch clock. Quantrill will take a very quick step off, and Harper was looking over at the home plate umpire saying he didn't call for time, did he? And he'll take a step out of the box, and they don't rule it as a pitch clock violation. Harper's just chuckling. I didn't really see any sort of sign or anything that signaled a timeout, but nonetheless, we play on. So Quantrill will get another crack at it. And the 3-2 pitch, swinging a grounder, hit back up the middle for a base hit. Trey Turner's rounding third base. It goes into right field, and Turner's going to score. It's an RBI single for Bryce Harper, and the Phillies take a 1-0 lead in the bottom of the 3rd inning. And Bryce Harper able to come through with a base hit as Turner gets high fives in the dugout. That fastball was smoked back up the middle. No chance that any of the middle infielders were going to get over to it. And Harper able to get on base for the 2nd time today as he comes through with a 2-out RBI single. And JT looks to follow up. Throw back to first, though, not in time as Harper dives back in there safely. So JT grounded out in the 1st. That was a really good piece of hitting by Bryce Harper. So Rojas flied out to center on the 1st pitch to start off this inning. Here's JT who takes a ball. It was a cutter outside for ball 1 at 87 miles per hour. There's a Twitter account that I sometimes bring up. It's a Fransky in LA Twitter account. It was made by a fan. And today, as the 1-0 pitch is grounded foul towards the third base side, they played a video. I don't know how they found this archive, but it was literally of Harry Kalas calling, he was given the lineup order for whoever they were facing, but Cal Quantrill's dad was on that team, and he was pitching. They post some really, really weird stuff on there, but some of that's like really cool. The 1-1 swing and a miss for strike 2. So the count is now 1-2. JT hitting .241 at home this season with just a solo home run. The count is 1-2. There's 2 outs. We're in the bottom of the 3rd inning. Paul Quantrill is Cal's dad, and the 1-2 pitch is low for ball 2. The throw over to second base, and Harper is out. Good throw by Diaz, and that's going to do it. So Harper gets caught stealing. And we go to the top of the 4th inning. He does come through, though, on an RBI single to give the Phillies a 1-0 lead as we go to the 4th. Okay. So Turner got a run. Boy, did Bryce need that. No, he did. Yeah, absolutely did. What's up, AJ? How you doing, man? Appreciate you for coming on here. I really, really do. I thought Paul Quantrill was on the Phils at one point. Well, that's probably why. That is probably why, because I believe you are correct. Paul was on the Phillies from 1994 to 1995. So he played actually with 7 different teams. He first was on the Red Sox for 2 years, and then I guess got traded over to the Phillies. Then he played for the Blue Jays for 5 seasons from 96 to 01, and then was on the Dodgers from 02 to 03, then played for the Yankees from 04 to 05, and then ended his career as a Florida Marlin, but right before that he was technically with the San Diego Padres as well. Let's go, boys. Thanks again for this, bud. I'm running the chainsaw right now at work and ain't watching the game. Well, I appreciate you for coming on here. Hopefully, we're giving you the best type of play-by-play quality that we can. You know, it's pretty relaxed today and feels pretty good, you know. The Marlins already have a 3-0 lead against the San Francisco Giants. I know somebody in my household that won't be happy to hear that. But just saw the scoreboard there, and it's in the top of the 4th inning. Giants are up to bat. Speaking of the Giants, I know that they got Blake Snell right before the regular season started, and he has not pitched really well for them so far. But he does seem to be a guy that, you know, as he gets more reps throughout the season, he tends to get better. Well, somebody's at their first Phillies game, and they're holding up a sign out towards right field, I believe, right behind the former out-of-town scoreboard. And I think it was intended for Bryce Harper. But that's pretty cool. I remember my first Phillies game. Do you guys remember your first Phillies game or baseball game? Comment your stories about what you remember about your first game down below going to a major league park. We're in the top of the 4th. Phillies lead at 1-0 on the RBI single by Bryce Harper. And Nola back out there on the mound throws a strike. It was actually technically fouled by Ezequiel Tovar. So the count is 0-1. Tovar at the plate, batting on the right side. And Nola gets set, winds up, and delivers, and it's swung on and missed for strike 2. So it's an 0-2 count to Tovar. Tovar is just 22 years old. He is the Rockies shortstop and made his debut with the Rockies in 2022. The 0-2 on the way from Nola, swing and a miss. So, good morning, good afternoon, and good night to Ezequiel Tovar. And that's the second time that he has struck out today versus Aaron Nola. And Ryan McMahon is coming up to bat. Oh, boy. All right. I did my research. Aaron Harang was indeed a Philly back in 2015. He was second in the rotation. I did not remember that. I don't really remember a lot from that year, except maybe Maikel Franco was doing really well. Here's McMahon, who swings and fouls off the first pitch at 92 miles per hour. So Nola so far today has thrown 43 pitches. 31 of them have been strikes, and 12 have been balls, if you do the math correctly from there. All right, so no balls, 1 strike. We're in the top of the 4th. Phillies lead at 1-0, and the 0-1 to McMahon is inside for a ball. Darth Pooh says, I was more fascinated with the vet and being there. Didn't even realize a game was being played that day. And that was his first experience watching the Phillies at the vet. The 1-1. There's a line drive out to center field. Rojas on the run, and they'll make the catch right towards the alleyway. Good play by Rojas. He got a great read on it and gets a clap and some standing ovation, applause from the Philly fans out there as he smiles and he goes back to his position. So he just made a really good catch out towards left center field. It was caught right on the line. He had to go over towards his right side and just was able to catch it just in front of the State Farm sign. It was really in front of the Giants sign out towards that left center field wall, if you can picture that at Citizens Bank Park. So 2 gone, and there's Diaz, who fouls the first pitch off of his foot. Bryce says that he remembers, Bryce Main that is, Old Brave Stadium when I was real young, but I remember Chipper hitting a walk-off single. Switch hitting Chipper Jones, of course, great ball player. Diaz flied out in the second, and again hitting .304 on the season with 1 homer, 7 RBI to go along with that. Nola gets the signs from JT. 3 seconds left on the pitch clock. He gets set from the letters, kicks and delivers, and throws it low. And, of course, Larry. April 1975 was my first game at the vet, 9 years old. That's how old he was. It's cool. It's always nice to hear how baseball really has been with a lot of people throughout a majority of their lives. as the pitch is grounded back up the middle for a base hit. And there's a 2-out single by Elias Diaz. So he's able to get on board. Elias Diaz. And there's a 2-out single there. So Diaz, honestly, has been really sharp throughout the month of April. He has 11 hits and 34 at-bats coming into today, just during the month. 14 total hits, though, on the season. Make it now 15 after that single was made. There's Nolan Jones, who takes a pitch that looked a little bit, actually looked like it was a strike, but it's a little bit inside, according to the home plate umpire. 1-0. Brendan Rodgers, or Elieris Montero, I should say, waits in the on-deck circle. The 1-0 is fouled back towards the screen to make it an even count. RG says that my first game was against the Rockies, and it was Jason Hamill. He was pitching for the Rocks. Moyer for the Phils. Some fans behind us were making fun of Hamill being Cole Hamels' brother. The 1-1, swinging a bouncer back up the middle. Trey Turner plays it on a bounce, and the throw to first is dug out by Harper. Boy, it hit the top of the hill, and Trey just had to play it like it was a routine ground ball. It then bounced off the hill over behind the second base bag. Turner played it on a bounce. He did a little spin, and he turned around and fired a dart over to first, and Harper dug it out for out number 3. So, no runs, 1 hit, 1 man left, and we go to the bottom of the 4th. The Phillies lead it 1-0, and they come back up to bat. That was great. I got to make sure I cut that. What else? Shane Gills. What's up, Shane? How you doing, man? I'll never forget my first Phillies game was at the Veteran Stadium. Used to go all the time with my dad. Not sure if you all remember when they were, quote-unquote, tearing down the Spectrum. I was too young for that. What was that? Connie Mack Stadium. It was probably in 67 against the Pirates and Roberto Clemente. And Elder Youth. All right, we'll read one more. Connie Mack Stadium, Chicago White Sox got hit with a foul ball. Oh, my gosh, and it hit my arm, and I was paying for ice cream. Oh, my gosh. So, hold up. Now you got to make this story clear to me. So, you were literally at the game. You're standing around trying to get ice cream, and all of a sudden, out of the periphery of your eyes, a foul ball is coming and literally hits you on the elbow. If that's not bad luck, I don't know what that is. That's crazy. My dad had me take a pen and bust off the seat numbers, says Shane Gills. Still have them. And we also have 2 of the blue seats from the Spectrum as well. That's crazy. I remember Pearl Jam had a concert there during the teardown. Oh, at Vet Stadium. And we got T-shirts from a scalper. Never went to the concert, but I have the T-shirt. That's great. Now, that's cool, too. I like that. All right, so we're in the bottom of the 4th. JT is coming up to bat for the Titans. So it'll be 4, 5, and 6 due up in the lineup. And out there on the bump is Cal Quantrill, still 43 pitches. And he throws a chip curveball that's grounded over to third base. McMahon has it, throws over to first, and it's a strike. And JT will have to head back to the dugout. Larry talked about this the other day, that this Phillies team doesn't really take a lot of first pitches. And I've seen several times today, specifically, where they just keep hacking at the first pitch. And there's nothing wrong with it, but if it's your pitch, you got to be confident, and you have to really try to just stay with it. And the Phillies have not been successful with that so far today, as Marsh decides to show bunt at the first pitch, but takes it back. It's a called strike anyways. 1 out in the bottom of the 4th. Marsh grounded out to second in the second. There's a splitter that's in there for a strike at 85 miles per hour. So I got to hear the rest of that story. Before the vet was made. No balls, 2 strikes to Brandon Marsh, and the next one is upstairs for a ball. Ryan Howard hit a monster home run when I was at the bank. It was a grand slam off Josh Johnson. It was in 2011. I remember that game. The 1-2 chopped foul. That was when Josh Johnson was Josh Johnson for the Florida Marlins. He was, he had, I think that was his Cy Young year. Is that correct? Or was it the year after that? 1 ball, 2 strikes. And the next pitch off the plate. And the count is now 2-2. Dar says, I hope this is the real Shane Gillis. Nothing better to do than watch a Phillies podcast stream. Oh, wait, Shane. Oh, man. 2 balls, 2 strikes, and the pitch, it's grounded over towards the first base side, and the underhanded flip back over towards Cal Quantrill's in plenty of time. Good play, and a good recognition, too. Montero was over at first, and had to just toss it over towards Quantrill, and Quantrill had to go over towards the bag from the mound, and he got there in plenty of time. So, wait, is this actually Shane? Wow. That'd be really cool. Shane, if that is you, thank you so much for coming on here. If it's not you, still thank you so much for coming on here. Here's Castellanos, and he swings at the first pitch. It's a curveball at 83 miles per hour on the lower third of the zone. Just hitting 186 on the season, 5 RBI, and is still looking for his first homer. The 0-1, that's low and in the dirt. I wonder where Liam's been. I haven't seen Liam at any game so far this season, but I'm sure that the fans call him the mayor. I'm sure that the mayor is going to be coming to town at some point during the summer. The pitch on the way is inside for ball 2. What's up, Darth Pooh? How you doing, man? How are you doing? 2 outs, bottom of the 4th. 2 balls, 1 strike to Castellanos. And a 1-0 lead for the Phillies. The pitch, line drive caught over at third by McMahon. It was a hot shot, and Castellanos is retired as he lines out the third. Another 1-2-3 inning for Cal Quantrill. And Montero, Taglia, and Doyle will be coming up when we return. Montero, Taglia, and Doyle. All right. Let me make sure I write that down. I did. Good. I do remember that game. Back in the 50s and 60s, the Harleysville Little League used to always go down to see the White Sox every year. And back to the Josh Johnson quote. Thank you, RG, for clarifying this. 2009 was Josh Johnson's Cy Young year, I believe, because 2010 was Doc, and 2011 was Johan. I don't remember Johan Santana in the league in 2011, but you may be right. I think that Santana may have won it in 2009, but I can double check, and this is why we have Google for a reason, and that's why we're able to do this, because internet and technology have made it easier for us to do these types of things. So, yeah, Johan Santana Cy Young year. Let's see. That was Cy Young year. Santana won his second Cy Young in 2006. Johan was in 2006. Okay. And 04, I think, was his first. He had it with, the first one, of course, was with the Twins, and the second one was with the Mets, if I recall correctly. That was at Game 5 of the World Series win, so no other time compares. That's a good story, Darth. I like that. Shane says, thanks, buddy. Oh, I appreciate you for coming on here. It really means a lot to me. And I hope you're all having a really good time on here. We got a really nice crowd. Hit the thumbs up button and hit that subscribe button as well. No, I won't be able to catch up to all the comments, but I'm glad that you're all having a very good time. We're in the top of the 5th. Phillies lead at 1-0. Nola back out there on the hill, and the first pitch is a knuckle curve. A lot of movement on that one as it swung on and missed by a mile by Montero. So Eleoris Montero over at the plate, batting on the right side. He has a close stance. And the 0-1's grounded over towards second, gobbled up by Stott, comes up with it, throws over to first. And there's the first out of the inning. Eleoris Montero, as he grounds out over to second, will now jog back over towards the dugout. And Nola doing good so far. Don't want to jinx it, but 53 pitches. And he gets the first out of the inning. So now up at the plate, there's a fly ball that's hit out towards right field. It's deep. It's going back towards the track, and it is long gone. That was Toglia. So, Michael Toglia able to come up with a home run to tie the game. And there's the broadcaster's jinx. Pitch right down the middle. Toglia did not miss a beat on it. And he goes back to the dugout as he ties it up at 1 apiece. Fastball right down the middle, and Toglia just buried that thing out to right field. So a brand new game. It was also the first extra base hit allowed today by Nola, too, as he goes with the knuckle curve that's way outside and down. Oh, Nola gives up another run. It's not a Nola start without a home run. I did see that comment by Larry. Love the sarcasm. So one out, base is empty. We're in the top of the fifth, and there's another knuckle curve that misses low. But they said that Doyle went around DJ Rayburn. Doyle has 3 homers this season, 7 RBI, and he's batting over 300. He did get a base hit off of Nola's last time up. It was a single. The 1-1 delivery fouled back towards the net. Last time that he faced the Rockies, Aaron Nola went 7 innings. He allowed 4 earned runs and had 4 strikeouts in that game. And that was on May 14th of 2023. But the last time he got a win against the Rockies was back on April 24th of 21. And he went 7 innings. He had 4 strikeouts and 4 earned runs allowed. The 1-2 on the way, swing and a miss. And Nola gets his 4th strikeout of the day. But the outing after that was interesting. It wasn't that he pitched bad or that he's pitched bad since then, because he went 5 1/3 his next outing and had 5 hits allowed, but he struck out 10 batters. And that was on September 12th of 2021. So Alan Trejo is up to bat, and he pops the first pitch up over towards the first base side and foul ground, and it'll drift out of play. Kris Bryant, not in the lineup today for the Rockies. He's out with back/rib soreness, and they're expecting him to be back into the lineup tomorrow for Colorado. The 0-1 ground ball hit it towards the third base side, and it goes through towards left field for a base hit. Merrifield tried to make a diving stop, and there's a single by Alan Trejo as he gets on with a 2-out single. That's just Nola's 30th pitch that he has thrown. Now Charlie Blackmon's coming up as we go back to the top of the order. This is not the greatest new comedian to grace the South. Just a big fan, Easy Dogs. Yep. So here's Charlie Blackmon, who stares at a changeup that misses in the dirt for ball 1. Sure, not Shane. Nola gets set at the letters, kicks, delivers, check, swing. Did Blackmon go? They don't even appeal, and DJ Rayburn said that he did go. Blackmon in his 14th season has hit .296 during his career with 216 total homers and 755 RBI. Nola gets set, and delivers from the stretch. The pitch, it's golfed out to center field. Rojas backpedals and will catch it for out number 3, and that's that. But the Rockies tie it up on a solo homer by Michael Toslia, and we go to the bottom of the 5th inning. Phillies tied at 1 apiece. Hit the thumbs up button and hit that subscribe button, guys, and that way you'll know when I go live. So far, not looking so good for the Flyers, in case you are into hockey. Well, the Flyers need the Pittsburgh Penguins to lose today, and they could also use help from Montreal against Detroit. It's 2-1 there. Pittsburgh is up by 2 against Nashville. And the Boston Bruins, I don't know when you've heard this, but you don't hear it a lot, but I'm sure that a lot of Flyers fans are going to be rooting for the yellow and black tonight as they take on the Washington, did I say the Wizards? I meant to say the Capitals. I'm still in basketball mode. The Washington Capitals, they lead at 1-0, and the end of the first period is coming in 27 seconds. We'll keep your secret, Shane. I like that. I like that a lot. Hit that thumbs up button, guys, and hit that subscribe button. My name is Jason Joseph. I'm a play-by-play announcer here on YouTube, and I've been doing this for 16 months. Hard to believe that, but that is the case, and I really try to give you the best work that I can. So if you can, all you have to do is just hit the thumbs up button and hit that subscribe button so that way you can come onto our channel whenever we go live for a Phillies, a Sixers, or an Eagles game. If you have not checked out the community tab, I would really appreciate it if you guys took your time to answer that poll in the community tab, because I'm curious to see who listens to the Sixers games, or who's been listening to the Sixers games over the last 2 weeks, who's been listening to the Phillies games, and who listens to both. So if you have the time, which I know it's hard to find sometimes, I would really appreciate it if you did that. Here's Bryson Stott, who takes a fastball at 93 off the plate. Bryson Watson the second. Average still is at 224. And Quantrill gets set, kicks, fires, and throws a cutter that's was actually over the heart and soul of the plate for a strike. The 1-1 pitch to Bryson Stott is just on the inside corner for a strike. Stott lifetime against the Rockies is batting .231 with 6 hits, a homer, and 2 RBI. Last time he had a hit against the Rockies was last year on April 20th. The 1-2 pitch. That's outside for a ball. Actually, I'm sorry, the last game at home, that's when that occurred. But the last time he did play against the Rockies, he did go 2 for 5. That was at Coors Field in that ball game with a stolen base. The 2-2 on the way. And there's a slow roller hit over towards third base. McMahon, all he can do is eat it up, and Bryson Stott gets on with an infield single. So he made contact with the baseball, and McMahon couldn't really do anything about it. It was probably a wise decision that he just held on to the ball. And Stott gets aboard with a leadoff hit. That's the first time today that the Phillies have had a leadoff base runner to start off an inning, and maybe that's a sign of good things to come. Stott's too good to stay in this funk. I agree with that. I totally agree with that for sure. Here's Whit Merrifield, who will step up to the plate, batting in the 8th spot for Alec Bohm today. Quantrill gets set and delivers from the stretch. The pitch, line drive, it's fouled towards the right field side. And Stott was ready to go to second base. Only has to drop back over to first as Ezequiel Tovar's like, yep, you got to go back to first. And Stott is shaking his head and chuckling, saying, yep, I know, you don't have to repeat that to me. So Merrifield grounded out in the second. Still has 1 hit as a Philly in the pinstripes. The pitch on the way. Another foul ball, or another pop-up this time. This time it's over towards the first base side. It was heading foul, but it'll be caught over behind the bag at first for out number 2. Or for out number 1, that is, by the first baseman, Montero. but needs to find his bat like he needs to find the chin. Shots fired. Here's Johan Rojas, who fly it out in the third. 1 out, Phillies tied 1-1. We're in the bottom of the 5th inning. Quantrill gets set, kicks, steals, and throws a sinker that's just a whisker down below the knees. Rojas made a very nice catch. It was out towards left center field. That took away a base hit from Ryan McMahon in the top of the 4th inning. The 1-0 delivery, and he'll show bunt down the third base line. It's just foul, though. It was a good try, and it was a very good idea. But Stott has to head back to first, and Rojas has to go back towards the plate. It was a very good bunt that he knocked down. It just stayed foul, though, over towards that third base side. So we're just approaching the 8 o'clock hour. Nighttime is settling in. The sun was shining on the mound right before game time started, and then it started to drift out towards the right field side by the 2nd inning, and now nighttime is upon us, and it's getting a little bit dark. 1-1 is the count. The Phillies are tied 1-1 against the Colorado Rockies with 1 out in the bottom of the 5th. Stott's at first. Quantrill gets set, kick, steals the pitch. It's slapped foul over towards the third base dugout, and it goes into the camera well. Almost 5 at my house, says Elder Ute. Wow. Rojas this season with 2 strikes is just 2 for 17. He's looking to try to get that average up, and there's a golden opportunity to do so. The 1-2 pitch, it's popped up over towards the third base side, and it'll go well out of play. Nice catch there by the fan. Just made a barehanded catch in between a pile of people. Everybody's like reaching up just to try to get the ball like it's a golden ticket. One ball, 2 strikes. Quantrill gets set just below the letters, barely above the belt. Throw back to first. Not in time. Boy, he fooled me right there. Bryson Stott just put his right hand in there, and Montero wasn't able to swipe the tag on him before he had his right hand on the bag. Quantrill's pretty good at that, and that's what makes him so deceiving when runners are on base. 1-2 on the way. Just inside and low. Again, there's even at 2-2 now. So the Phillies in their pinstripes today, with the number 42, of course, across the back on Jackie Robinson Day. The 2-2 pitch, fouled back again, and Stott tried to go to second, and he has to get his exercise in once again and head back over to first base. So Robinson, of course, on this day, made his debut back in 47. I think we have time called by Rojas here, so the count is still even at 2 apiece. But I wanted to say that his wife, well, now, of course, widow, she's still alive. She's 101 years old. The 2-2 is chopped foul over towards the third base side. I couldn't believe that. I did some research on the whole family today. They have 3 kids. And, yeah, she's still alive. She's 101 years old. She actually, she's made some public appearances, too, like talking about his story and everything. And she's been interviewed a lot of times. And you really learn a lot about the history of the game and just a lot from her. The 2-2 pitch, fly ball out to left field, hit sharply, but caught just in front of the track, right by Jones, and there's 2 away in the first. In the 5th, it's still 1-1 though. All right. So there's 2 outs in the bottom of the 5th inning. And we flip the lineup card, and we go back to the top of the order for the Phillies. Her name is Rachel Robinson. Throw back over to first, not in time. She's was a former professor. She was a nurse, a civil rights activist, and also a business leader as well. First pitch to Schwarber is just outside for ball one. And Jackie's kids is Jackie Robinson Jr., he has Sharon Robinson, and also David Robinson. Each child has independently made remarkable contributions, of course, to the family legacy of activism and, really have achieved a lot of excellence in their fields. So 1-1 is the count. Quantrill on the bump for the Rockies. Schwarber's 0 for 2. He is at the plate. We're tied at 1 apiece, and the throw back to first, not in time. Robinson, of course, had a MLB average of .313 with 141 homers, 761 RBI, and 200 steals. The 1-1 on the way up high and outside for ball two, was a 6-time All-Star, won the NL MVP back in '49, and also the same year, he also won the NL batting champion as well. The 2-1 outside again for ball three. Throw over the second base. Not in time to get Bryson Stott. And he finally is able to swipe a bag. And that puts a runner in scoring position. So Diaz's throw was a little bit wide that time. It would have been really hard to get Bryson Stott anyways. But the count is now 3-1. And the tovar had to literally go out in front of the bag at second to try to swipe Stott because that's where the throw was. The 3-1 pitch to Kyle Schwarber popped up out towards shallow center field. Tovar calls everyone off, and he squeezes the ball to make the catch for out number 3. So we head now to the top of the 6th. Bryson Stott gets on, but he's stranded at second. And the 6th inning coming up, Tovar, McMahon, and Diaz coming up to face Aaron Nola. Is that a stink bug that is literally on the window? I think that is. Oh boy. One time when we were actually in the broadcast booth, I will never forget, there was a spider, okay? I was doing a game. I was doing a Blue Rocks game with somebody. Of course, not going to call them out because that's just respect to themselves, but I was calling a game with somebody, and I saw this little tiny creature that was climbing up our equipment, and of course the person that was calling the game with me was doing play-by-play. I was doing color. The inning just started, and there's this little creepy crawler that is just on the equipment and finally gets onto a little part of his jacket as he's calling a 2-1 pitch, with the bases loaded. And he calls the action, and out of the periphery of his eye, just bam! Smacked the bug, everything. Had a lot of schmutz on his hand. And literally, as he's calling the game, I take over, at one point, and he's looking down into his bag for the hand sanitizer. And he got the hand sanitizer and was able to clean up his hands after that. And during the break, went right to the bathroom and washed it off. And that was the end of that bug story. So we go now to the 6th inning. Phillies tied 1-1. The Rockies have been a bug to the Phillies all day. Phillies have not been able to get a whole lot of offense from them. Lots of mascots were on the field. You had the Phillies bobblehead figure that was literally right behind the Philly Fanatic as they just all went back to the tunnel. I think that there was the Blue Claw there too. I think he was there. Maybe I saw him for a second. So we're in the top of the 6th inning. Nola back out there on the bump, and the pitch, line drive it back over towards second base. Stott has it, throws over to first, and it's in time, and there's one away. It was hit sharply on the ground. They had the turtle there too, so they're showing a replay on the NBC Sports Philadelphia channel. And the Fanatic was rocking the black electric guitar. I don't know what they were rocking to, but it's crazy. So here's Ryan McMahon. Tovar is retired. Now McMahon steps into the box, batting on the left side. And the first pitch is in there for a strike at the knees at 90 miles per hour. McMahon is 0 for 2 so far today with a flyout and a lineout. With 2 homers and 11 RBI. The 0-1 pitch, low and outside for ball 1. Aaron Nola gets the signs from JT, starts his windup, kicks, fires, and it's fouled off over towards the first base side. It actually got a piece of McMahon's front foot, and he had to step over towards the left side of the box, right across home plate, as he fouled that one off. So when you compare both pitchers so far, Quantrill has gone 5 innings. He's allowed 3 hits, 1 earned run, 2 walks, and only has 1 strikeout. And Nola has gone 5 1/3. He has surrendered 4 hits and just 1 earned run, and that was on the solo homer by Michael Toslia. The trainer for the Colorado Rockies coming out just to check on McMahon and see if he is okay. So that's Keith Duggar. And McMahon says, "I'm okay. I mean, I just fouled off a pitch off my foot, but I can shake it off." And he gets back into the box. And Nola gets set again, kicks, fires, and the pitch is low for ball 2. I'm sure that really is not okay, because I can never imagine fouling off a pitch that's thrown at 92 miles per hour, and the exit velo is probably at 98. But probably said, "Yep, I'm okay." The 2-2 on the way. Low and inside for ball 3. Was a knuckle curve again. Nola's done a pretty good job at just locating those knuckle curves, but there have been a couple of at-bats where it has been a little bit lower than JT has wanted it, and you can see just from the signs. But overall, he's done a good job today, and this will probably, my guess is that this will be his last inning, but I may not be correct about that. Payoff pitch coming up. 8 seconds left on the pitch clock. And Nola starts his windup, kicks, delivers the pitch. It's popped up over towards shallow left field. Going to be a tough play for Marsh. He gets under it, though, and he'll catch it for out number 2 as he does a little gimme toss to Whit Merrifield and is like, "Here you go, young fella. I'm going to toss it to you," and there's out number 2. like it's a golden ticket. Was actually pretty cool. Thanks. I appreciate that. I'm trying, you know. Today's like one of those days where I'm really trying not to focus as much like on the chat, and I'm really just trying to kind of get back into the nuts and bolts of what broadcasting is supposed to be, and that's just storytelling. And then you guys are the color. You know what I mean? Not that I don't love you guys, because of course I love you guys. So Diaz steps into the box, takes the first pitch low for ball 1. Elias Diaz catching. He had a single, also threw out Bryce Harper back in the second inning. Or sorry, it was the end of the first. Had to go back to my scorebook just to make sure that I remembered that correctly. And that pitch is fouled off. Sometimes, and this is also why I actually still keep score. You know, sometimes I forget what day it is. Okay, and if I forget what day it is, it's good for me to keep track of what happened in each inning, because that's not a good habit to get into. The 1-1 chopped foul over towards the third base side. And time is now called by Diaz. Quietish. What's going on, Quietish? How you doing? 1-2 is the count. Nola gets set, kicks, and delivers. It's swung on and missed, and JT Played it on a bounce. It was sort of like a check swing. I thought maybe he fouled it at first, but Diaz strikes out, and that's the end of the inning. We head to the bottom of the sixth. 2, 3, and 4 coming up for the Phils when we return. Trey Turner will be leading things off against Cal Quantrill. So, who just struck out there? Diaz. All right. Hopefully you're all doing well and having yourselves a very fantastic day. The name is Jason Joseph. This is Play-by-Play with JJ. The clock has struck 8 o'clock. It's really 8:07 to be exact. PM Eastern Time. If you go by military time, though, it is 20:07. So, but yeah. I hope that you're all doing well and having yourselves a very fantastic day. Mods, thanks so much for taking care of the business in the chat. Always make sure that you tell people to hit that thumbs up button and subscribe to the channel. We are on for the Phillies, the Sixers, and the Eagles. All right, we got a big Sixers game coming up on Wednesday night. We will give you a preview of that, and we'll have more to talk about in regards to that game probably tomorrow night. Okay, we'll probably do that, or maybe during the afternoon. I have not decided just yet. I have to do a better job at making up my mind and coming up to schedule these things and really try to be realistic. So, you know what I mean? Tell the Phils it's past 8 p.m. Time to press on the gas is hardcore for all. Well, I'm a narrator for you guys, and I'm literally here in Voorhees, New Jersey. So I will, I'm not in Colorado, or they're not in Colorado, so maybe it's, maybe if I get there within a half hour, they'll still be there. All right, quietish. That's it, bro. Can you untime out quietish? Why was he even timed? I have no idea. I don't even know what's going on, man. I'm not keeping up with the chat. That's your guys' job. You guys make the judgment. Trey Turner is up to bat. No balls, 1 strike, and Turner takes the curveball low in the dirt for a ball, and the count is now 1-1. You're good, bro. Adrian Wojnarowski just tweeted out that as the 1-1 is popped up over towards the third base side and foul ground, and it goes out of play. He said, quote, ESPN story on USA Basketball finalizing 24 Paris Olympics roster that includes an iconic lineup of LeBron James, Steph Curry, Kevin Durant, and Joel Embiid. How about that? 1-2, there's a grounder over to shortstop, and the play over to first by Tovar is in plenty of time, so Turner grounds out to his counterpart, and Tovar shows him how it's done. 1 away, and Turner has to go back to the dugout. Cal has 78 pitches, 46 have been for strikes, and 32 have been balls. Your play-by-play has been good tonight, JJ. Appreciate that. Thank you. Harper's up at the plate, and the first pitch, there's a high ball that's hit out towards center field. It's pretty deep, but it'll stay in the yard. And making the catch out in dead center field is Doyle. And the fans, they were standing and hoping that Harper had gone deep. And then as soon as it was caught, they simmered back down. Two up, 2 down. On this gorgeous night out at the bank. A red, white, and blue bell. Now towards right center field. And JT comes up, and he throws a pitch that's on the upper third of the zone for a strike. What's up, Gabriel? How you doing, man? Thanks so much for coming on. Appreciate it. So JT has grounded out twice. He's hitting .255 on the season, 2 homers and 4 RBI as well. The 0-1, a splitter that swung on and missed. I think that, and I haven't really been keeping track of this, but I haven't really seen Quantrill throw the splitter, but I think that's maybe the 3rd time that he's gone to that tonight. It's pretty good. The 0-2, down low for ball 1. What's up, Day? How you doing, man? Thanks so much for coming on here. How are you doing this? This is my alt. I'm Demonio. What's up, Day? 1 ball, 2 strikes, and the next pitch is outside and low for ball 2. Well, this is, I can't give you everything, but I am doing it through OBS. You know, a chef can't reveal the whole entire recipe, especially when you have an audience in front of you. But yes, I am doing this through OBS. It's 3-2 now to JT, and I'm watching the game on a TV. Of course, watching the Phillies game. Imagine if I was calling like the Cardinals game and I was just fooling you guys. 3-2 pitch. Ground ball it back up the middle for a base hit, and JT gets on with a 2-out single. Good piece of hitting by JT, and that's what the fans wanted to see as he smiles and gets some high fives from the first base coach. All right. So Cal, now with 85 total pitches, the highest amount of pitches that he threw was back in the 5th inning. It was 20 pitches in that inning. And nobody was able to come home for the Phillies. Marsh is due up at the plate, and he looks at the sinker that's just in there for a strike. Marsh has also been seeing the ball very, very well. There's Aaron Nola talking with Caleb Cotham in the Phillies dugout, going over signs and just, having a pitching coach to pitcher conversation. So the next pitch is going to make it a 1-1 count. Hell yeah, doing great about the lurk. I appreciate that, man. The 1-1 delivery, it's in the dirt. It gets away from Diaz, but not too far away for JT to advance over to second. It was actually bounced over towards the first base dugout, and Diaz did a good job at just making a good read on it. And he chuckles and was like, I didn't know where that thing was going to bounce. It actually went above his glove. He tried to backhand it, and it just hit the chest pad, and he had to get onto his feet and run after the baseball. 2 balls, 1 strike to Brandon Marsh. And the pitch, swing and a foul tip into the glove for a strike. Another splitter. He decided to go with it that time at 85 miles per hour. So it's now 2-2. Quantrill gets set in the 90th pitch. There's a high bouncer hit back over to Quantrill, and Quantrill is just going to tag the bag, and he'll make the final out. So he had to go over to first base. He played it on a bounce. He was off the mound when he caught it, and then just jogged over to first base to get the final out of the inning. And, well, on 90 pitches, Cal Quantrill has only allowed 1 run, and Aaron Nola has only allowed 1 run, too. But we go to the 7th inning, Nola back out there on the mound. It's his time to shine. JJ, we love what you're doing. Watching with A in is that Colorado Springs? Huge fans. Thanks for the great content. Thanks for the great content. I appreciate you for being here and for finding the channel and for taking time out of your night to tune in. Again, we are live for every single Phillies game, every single Sixers game, and Eagles game as well. I can't really say every single game, but we do a grind, man. We did 127 of the 162 last year. I'll put it to you that way. Obviously, when the Sixers and when the Phillies are playing, it's hard to obviously do both when they're on at the same time. So we have to give up one, and that is, of course, the Phillies, because at this time of the year, it's all about Sixers basketball. Big game on Wednesday night. If you want to tune in to the play-in game, we will have that covered on here, and hopefully it'll be a good matchup between the Heat and the Sixers, and they're looking to advance to the playoffs for what would be now their 7th year in a row. And they would have to go on and face the Knicks if they win this play-in game. Let's take a sip of water. You're tired too with the grind? Well, you show up, man, and I appreciate you for always being here and for being very loyal. I know that you guys aren't just on here for me. You guys want to hear how the team is doing, but I do appreciate the love and the support that you guys do provide for me as well. If you would like to support the channel, if you are actually tuning in on Facebook or on Twitch or on any other social media platform, I would appreciate it if you hit a follow button and if you subscribe to the channel and come on over to YouTube, type in play-by-play with JJ if you can. I know that not all countries you're not able to have access to that, so but hit that follow button. And if you guys want me to read your comments, I will be here on YouTube. Mike says you're the best, bud. Well, I appreciate you, and I'm not. I mean that. We're in the 7th inning. Nola back out there for another inning of work, and the first pitch is swung on and missed to Ryan McMahon. Batting again on the left side, or Nolan Jones, that is. He's 0 for 2. He has a similar stance to McMahon. Struck out and grounded out. And the 0-1, he stares at a changeup at the knees on the outside corner for strike 2 at 86 miles per hour. Nola's velocity, that was a conversation that they talked about during the pregame show. They said that it dipped over the first 3 outings. He was really, his highest pitch a couple of games ago was at 92.6, and he averages about 93 to 94 on a good night. And so far tonight, he's been getting at about the 93 mile per hour range with the fastball. Here's another 93 mile per hour pitch, and that's on the outside corner for a called strike 3. 6 strikeouts for Nola, the first time that he gets a batter caught looking. So back-to-back strikeouts. That was to end the 6th and to start off the 7th. So 1 away, and now Montero is coming up to bat. So 1 out in the top of the 7th. It's still 1-1. And Nola decides to go with a sinker. It looked like it was a hair off, but it's on the outside corner for a strike. Bud Black decides to get Justin Lawrence loosened up in the Rockies bullpen. The 0-1 pitch, swing and a miss on a knuckle curve at 80 miles per hour. That was low and away. As Bugs Bunny said, you say that to all the mods. Well, I do mean it, though. I definitely mean it. But you're funny, because you're not wrong. Nola gets set and delivers, throws a knuckle curve. It looked like it was, didn't have as, I think that the previous pitch didn't have as much movement. That one looked a little bit more good to swing at, but it was still in the same spot. It just had a higher arc to it. 1 ball, 2 strikes. And the 2-strike pitch from Nola, swing and a miss. That knuckle curve had a lot of wicked movement to it, and he decides to go with another off-speed pitch, and that's 3 strikeouts in a row for Aaron Nola, the 2nd strikeout of the inning. Boy, oh boy, I think that was the best pitch that he's thrown all night, arguably. And he's had a pretty good outing. 81 pitches, only 1 earned run allowed. And now, up next is Doyle. So Teslia Doyle takes the pitch. It's a strike on the outside corner, another knuckle curve. And the count is 0-1. So Michael Toglia homered in the 5th. It's his 4th. It was his 4th of the season. He sort of has a Marte Teixeira type of a stance over on the left side, if you can remember who Marte Teixeira is. And he takes the next one to even the count at 1-1. Teixeira, though, of course, was a switch hitter. I think at one point he was on the Rockies, maybe later in his career, but obviously remember him from the days of Texas, as the next pitch is up high for ball 1, or for ball 2, that is. But then he also played for the Braves and the Yankees as well. 2 balls, 1 strike. Nola kicks, fires the pitch. In there for strike 2 at 79 on the knuckle curve. Well, he threw 83 pitches in the first game, 95 in the second, 93 in the third, and so far tonight in 6 2/3 has thrown 85. The 86 pitch upstairs and wide. And that'll make the count full. Doyle waits in the on-deck circle. Bases empty, 2 outs. Nola with the payoff pitch. Here it is. Swing and a bouncer. Hit over towards the third base side, but it just stays foul. JT had to get up and go in between third base and home plate to get to it, so about 45 feet if you do the dimensions correctly. Even though they say technically that third base is now 89.5 feet away from home plate because they made the bases bigger a couple of years ago. But we still say 90 feet because it still rounds up to it. Does it really make that much of a difference? Well, to the players it does, but 5 seconds left on the pitch clock. Nola gets the signs from Realmuto, kicks, delivers the payoff pitch, swing and a miss. And, well, Nola strikes out the side and gets his 8th strikeout of the evening and gets a standing ovation from the fans as well. So he strikes out 3 batters, and we go to the bottom of the 7th inning. It is time to stretch at CBP. Good stuff, man. I'm here for a Phillies game, says Mike. What's up, Mike? How you doing, bro? Thanks so much for coming on. And if you guys are new to the channel, hit the thumbs up button. Hit that subscribe button. Turn on the bell icons. And that's all you got to do. That's all you got to do. We covered the Phillies, we covered the Sixers, and the Eagles on here. All right, so it is time to ask our Phillies trivia question of the day. I'm going to ask you a Phillies trivia question, and if you get it right, you'll hear this. If you get it wrong, you'll hear this. Okay, so here's what I want to know. All right, this is what I want to know. So on, where is it? 15th on this. There we go. Okay. On this day, okay, in Phillies history, okay, we're going to do 2 of these, but the Phillies allowed 13 runs to which team on this day? 13 runs, and they lost 13-0. Just name me a team. Jim Tomei. Steve Carlton. We'll do another one, but this was just the first one that came to my mind. It was the Cubs. It's incorrect. Close, though. The Mets. Mike says Cincinnati, and that is correct. If you remember last year, on this day, the Phillies got shut out 13-0 against the Cincinnati Reds, and we were on for that game, and that was not fun whatsoever. They it was Will Myers, who was on the Reds last year. He went 4 for 5, and he had 2 homers and had 5 RBI. First pitch is in there for a strike. So here's Justin Lawrence on the mound for the Rockies. In 5 games, he is 0-1 with an 11.57 earned run average. The 0-1 to Castellanos, swing and a miss. Casty is 0 for 2. We'll do another trivia question as we go to the top of the 8th, but that was the one. So Casty's 0 for 2. He flied out, then he lined out. Phillies are tied 1-1. Harper had an RBI single back in the bottom of the 3rd, and the 0-2, it gets away from the catcher, and they appealed, no swing. And, well, man, if Casty did go and it took them that long to appeal, honestly, I wonder if Casty should have probably been running because it was not a drop strike 3. It just got underneath of Diaz's glove. The 1-2 on the way, swing and a miss. Lawrence throws sidearm and decides to go with an off-speed pitch that was sailing outside. And there's the first out of the inning. Casty still struggling, but he'll go back to the dugout. JC was like, yo, when do you sleep? You work really hard, man. Thank you. I appreciate it. I've been getting good sleep. I have. I make sure I get good sleep because I need it. So here's Bryson Stott, and he flies this one out towards shallow left field. It's going to be a tough play. It actually lands in no man's land. Nobody can make the catch, and Stott rounding first. He'll stay over there. It's a bloop single. McMahon and it was McMahon, Rogers, and Jones were trying to communicate with one another. It was a good pitch, but sometimes you got to get a little luck in the game of baseball, as Harold Reynolds once said. And that was just sometimes it's just about where you hit it. And Stott hit it in a very good spot. So now Whit Merrifield comes up, and he'll slice this one foul over towards the third base side. Lawrence, who has thrown 6 pitches in this inning so far, came in for Cal Quantrill, who had a really good day. He's not going to be able to get the win, but he had 90 pitches and was pretty stellar, only allowing 1 earned run through 6 innings of work. Lawrence gets set below the belt, throws the next pitch. It's low and away. Lawrence, 29 years old. He's from Panama. He stands at 6'3". And the 1-1 pitch to Merrifield is a high fly ball hit out towards left field. It'll stay in the yard, though, and making the catch right in front of the track is Jones. And there's 2 away. So, Merrifield flies out to left, just got underneath it. And Rojas will come on up to the plate with 2 outs and a runner over at first. Lawrence, as we were just talking about, he's 29. Overall, has an 8-9 win-loss record. Made his debut with the Rockies back on April 29th of 2021. Rojas steps into the box and takes a sweeper on the inside corner for a strike. Good pitch thrown by Lawrence. He attended First Coast High School in Jacksonville, Florida, and he played college ball at Jacksonville University and Daytona State College. The 0-1 fouled back. Then was drafted, of course, by the Rockies back in 2015 and was a 12th round draft pick for them. No balls, 2 strikes. Lawrence gets set just below the belt, and the sidearm pitch swung on, lined, and caught over at short by Tovar. Hit sharply again, but Tovar makes the catch, and the side is retired. Time to go to inning number 8 at CBP. Doyle is going to lead things off when the Phillies and Rockies return. What's going on, Dallas? What's up, Dallas? How you doing? JJ, Blue Jays 3, Yankees 1. Dance, JJ, dance. Well, I'm happy for you. I am happy for you. I see that also Pittsburgh is up 3-1, and that does not make me happy as a Flyers fan because we need the Penguins to lose. Also, Montreal is beating Detroit. That is a good thing. It's 3-1 with 5:24 left in the second period. The Bruins, they're down 1-0 to the Washington Capitals. Caught myself right there. So we're keeping our eyes on all 3 of those games. And the Flyers, of course, play against the Washington Capitals tomorrow. And that is game number 82 for them. If you guys are new, make sure you guys like and subscribe and hit the bell icon so that way you know when I upload. Tomek Cussy, what's going on? What is up, my guy? Appreciate you for coming on here. I wanted to see how many people we have tuning in on the YouTube airways. They have a Sixers roundtable going on with RB and Romp is there, and DJ, they're all there. But, of course, we're here covering the Phillies for you guys, not the Sixers. Sixers play on Wednesday. They were really supposed to play tomorrow. We have 80 people on here watching. Only 40 people have hit that thumbs up button, Would love it if all 80 of you would do that for me. It would mean the world to me. Philly Fanatic trying to conduct the fans during a chant during the inning break. I think it went out pretty well. First pitch by Nola is fouled back. So Aaron Nola, you don't really see this too much nowadays, but 89 pitches, and he's pitching the 8th inning. So, remember, he went 7 innings against the Rockies. That was last year. So the 0-1 is low and just a little bit outside for a ball. So Brenton Doyle got on with a single in the 3rd and is 1 for 2 against the Phillies tonight. The 1-1 pitch. It's grounded foul just behind home plate. And Nolan now with 91 pitches. So I guess that this is probably going to be his last inning of work. But we'll see. Michael Lorenzen, of course, was able to go 9 innings last year, and he had the no-hitter for the Phillies. And I think that was the last time the Phillies had a pitcher that pitched 8 innings. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Doyle. 8, 9, and 1 due up for the Rockies in this inning. The 2-2 on the way from Nola. Here it is. Ooh, check swing. Are they going to appeal? No. They're not even going to appeal. Looked like Doyle may have, I don't think he offered, but there was certainly something that he rounded the bat maybe about a quarter of the way. But nonetheless, it's a 3-2 count. Big payoff pitch coming up. It's pitch number 94. Nola with the payoff pitch. Just outside. He did not get the call. And it was the right call by DJ Rayburn. And he allows his first walk since the 3rd inning. Wow. He has not allowed a lot of walks today. He doesn't really walk a lot of batters either. So Doyle gets on. And now showing bunt is Trejo as he tries to knock it down, but it goes over towards the Phillies dugout. Wanted to make sure I get that correct. So, yeah, so that was his first walk that he's allowed. That was actually the first walk he allowed tonight. I thought that he walked the batter back in the 3rd inning, but I couldn't read my own handwriting, so I beg your pardon. And the only person that can read my own handwriting is me. That's a shot at myself. The 0-1 pitch. It's bunted foul just behind the plate. And Whit Merrifield was coming in to try to make a play. They knew that he was going to show bunt. But it's a foul ball, and Merrifield has to go back over to his spot. All right, big spot here. No balls, 2 strikes. Still nobody out. In the top of the 8th inning, Nola with 96 pitches. And he takes a quick breath. Gets set in motion. And the 0-2 pitch. Breaking ball that Trejo laid off. The Rockies wanted to also mention this. They got shut out yesterday to the Toronto Blue Jays. And before the run, the home run that was hit in the 5th inning, they hadn't put up a run in 17 innings. Runner goes. The 1-2 is popped up, and it's fouled out of play. And looks like Doyle's going to have to jog back over to first. So the count is 1-2. It's a sold-out crowd here at Citizens Bank Park. Nola with 8 seconds left on the pitch clock. It's 1-1 in the top of the 8th, and the 1-2 pitch, swing and a miss. He struck him out. 9 strikeouts for Aaron Nola. And he has struck out 5 of the last 7 batters that he has faced, and Rob Thompson is going to make a move. He'll pull the plug, and Aaron Nola at 99 pitches, that's going to be the end of his day. So Charlie Blackmon is coming up, and we go back to the top of the order as he gets a standing ovation. He's not in line to get the win, but he certainly pitched very well. 99 pitches and 9 strikeouts, And we have a pitching change coming up, and the Phillies will be back in just a few moments. All right. Should have started this inning with a reliever. Well, I'm happy that Nola was back out there. Nola was pitching really well. I don't blame Rob for having him go with Nola. He was pitching really well. You know? But that's just me. We can disagree. Keep him in, says the nameless ones. Well, now it's the top of the order. Blackmon, Tovar, and McMahon are all coming up. So now I can understand why you want to go to another pitcher, because it's the top of the order. And Nola, I personally, I can understand. I think that it was the right time to take him out, and I don't think you want to overdo it. Nola struck out the side the last inning. What's going on, JJ? Well, we're in a pitching change. What's up, David? How you doing, man? How are you doing? Hit that thumbs up button, guys, if you were just tuning in. Let's get to 1,970 subscribers, okay? We only have 45 likes on your mods. Come on, man. You got to do your thing. You got to tell people about the channel. Tell them to ring that bell. And there is that little creepy crawler that's crawling up on the laptop now. Oh, boy. I think that's a stink bug. It's going over towards the camera. Had to jab at it. If somebody took a video of that, you got to take a replay of it. I don't think I killed it, but I did take a jab. Nope. Okay, it's still alive. It's still alive. Okay, it's over at my window. Just tried to nudge it with one of the flashcards I had. Don't like bringing in reliever mid-inning with men on base. Well, it's Jose Alvarado. I'm okay with it. Alvarado comes in for the Fightins. In 7 games, he has a 6.75 ERA and has 8 strikeouts and 6 2/3 of an inning. Here's Blackmon at the dish, and he stares at a fastball at just at the chest for a strike on the outside corner. No balls, 1 strike to Blackmon. Alvarado gets set at the belt, and the 0-1 high bouncer hit over to shortstop. Turner tags the bag for 1, and the throw to first is in time. A 6-3 double play on 2 pitches thrown by Jose Alvarado, and he gets out of the inning. We go to the bottom of the 8th. Phillies still tied at 1 apiece. Great. Nola had 93 pitches, wasn't going to get out of the inning. That was pretty good, man. That was pretty awesome. I was pretty impressed with that. So nobody, JJ there, good Eden. I was gonna say nobody commented on nobody commented on the little flashcard attempt to try to get the bug away from my laptop. Nobody was gonna comment on that. Do you keep Alvarado in there for the next inning? I don't know. I have no clue. But what I do know is that you guys should hit the thumbs up button and hit that subscribe button if you want to get notified on when I go live for a Phillies or a Sixers or an Eagles game. If you are tuning in on Facebook or on any other social media platform, the name, of course, is Jason Joseph, and this is Play-by-Play with JJ. I would really appreciate if you hit that follow button. And feel free to leave a super chat or a donation down below by clicking on those Venmo or PayPal links if you would like to do so. And if you want to reach out to me, you're always more than welcome to email me at jasonjosephonair@gmail.com. I always forget to put that into this bot here. But the link to that is also in the description. So if you would like to email me about business inquiries or just about anything else, if you have any questions or any sort of critiques on what we could do better for the channel, I would appreciate that. You know, it would mean a lot. All right, bottom of the 8th inning coming up, and the Phillies have the top of the order, 1, 2, and 3. Schwarber, Turner, and Harper due up for the Fightins as they're tied 1-1. Harper, how do we get here? Well, Harper had an RBI single in the bottom of the 3rd to give the Phillies a 1-0 lead over Quantrill at the time. And then, well, it was tied back in the top of the 5th on a solo home run by Michael Taslia. over Aaron Nola. Here's Jalen Beeks on the bump. He has a 4.26 ERA and 6 1/3 of an inning. And he's out there to face Kyle Schwarber as he takes it wide for ball 1. Kyle grounded out, struck out, and flied out. 3 homers this season, 6 RBI, and a 231 average. The 1-0 pitch, low and away for ball 2. Two balls, no strikes to Kyle Schwarber. And the next pitch is just off the plate for ball 3. So Beeks cannot find the strike zone. And Trey Turner waits in the on-deck circle. And the 3-0 pitch upstairs for ball 4. And that's how Kyle Schwarber gets on base for the first time today. It's a leadoff walk. And now, if you're Rob Thompson, do you leave Kyle out there over at first base or do you put in a pinch runner? That's my question. And it looks like Schwarber's going to stay out there, I believe. Maybe not. Let's see. So Turner's at home plate, and the first pitch is popped up in foul ground, and it just lands right on top of the dugout. And it's an 0-1 count. So I think that Schwarber's staying in there. Schwarber just walked. And it's no balls, 1 strike to Trey Turner. He doubled in the 3rd, got the rally started, and Harper followed through on an RBI single back up the middle to give the Phillies at the time a 1-0 lead. Beeks with his 6th pitch on the way, fouled off. And Turner now behind in the count 0-2. Hoffman is getting warmed up into the Phillies bullpen, and he will pitch the 9th inning. No balls, 2 strikes. Lifetime against Beeks. He's just 0 for 1. He struck out. There's only time that he faced him. And in the on-deck circle is Bryce Harper. The 0-2 to Turner in the dirt. It gets away from Diaz, and jogging over to second is Kyle Schwarber. So that changes a lot here in this scenario. The go-ahead run in scoring position, and it's a 1-2 count now to Trey Turner. That was just a breaking pitch, and Diaz tried to backhand it. It literally went underneath his glove, in between the wickets, and Bud Black shaking his head in the dugout. The 1-2 to Turner, low again, and the count is even at 2 apiece. Turner over his last 7 days has gone 11 for 27 with a homer and 3 RBI. 2 balls, 2 strikes, and the next pitch to Turner was inside, and that's a called strike 3 by Rayburn. Oh man, Turner is shaking his head. He chirps at Rayburn and walks back to the dugout. That is a very costly call, and not the right call by DJ Rayburn, and there's 1 out. Well, now here's Bryce Harper. He got on with a walk in the 1st. He had an RBI single in the 3rd, flew out to center in the 6th, and now Christian Pache is going to come in to pinch run for Kyle Schwarber. He's over at second base, and I don't blame him. Good move by Rob. Harper looking for his 9th RBI of the season, and has a golden chance to do so. First pitch. That was literally the same pitch that was thrown to Trey Turner, and this time Rayburn calls it a ball. So it was outside to Bryce Harper. And the count is 1-0. Beeks gets set, kicks, fires the pitch. It's popped up, and it'll hook into foul ground and go out of play. Harper in the 7th inning or later is 2 for 18 this season with a homer and 5 RBI. The 1-1 delivery to Harper, it's low, and Harper, as it almost got away from Diaz, said, hold up at second base, and the count is now 2-1. Fans starting to get loud. They have the Get Loud sign out towards the right field former out-of-town scoreboard, so fans are standing and getting pretty loud here for Bryce Harper. 2 balls, 1 strike, and the next pitch way off the plate, and the count is now 3-1. Harper has reached base in 25 of his last 26 games versus the Rockies, and that's dating back to September 30th of 2018. 3 balls, 1 strike, and the next pitch to Harper. Fly ball hit out towards shallow right field, and making the catch for out number 2 is Taglia. Pache thought about going over to third, but it was not deep enough, and Harper is retired. Well, he did get something to hit right there, but he got it just off the end of the bat, and he just spiked that bat down. Had to be careful. I thought maybe it was going to hit his elbow. Did not win the battle. That was a golden opportunity there, and Bud Black is going to pull the plug, and Beeks is going to come out. So we're in the bottom of the 8th. Another pitch and change. We'll be right back in just a few moments. Don't go anywhere. Stay tuned. We'll be back in literally 1 minute. Nick Mears is going to come in to pitch as we're still in the bottom of the 8th. And Mears comes in for the Colorado Rockies. Bryce Harper just got out. He flied out to right field. And Mears on the season has gone 7 games and has a 2.84 earned run average and about 6 1/3 of an inning of work. Pache's over at second. He came on to pinch run for Kyle Schwarber. Here's JT at the plate, and he stares at a curveball right down the pipe for a called strike. JT is 1 for 3. He's singled in the 6th and is hitting .269 with 2 homers and 4 runs batted in, looking to try to give the Phillies the lead once again. Mears looks back at second, now back to the plate, and the pitch, line drive back in the center field, and making the catch out in center is Doyle. Wow, hit sharply, and JT shakes his head, and all you got to do is tip your cap to Doyle for making the catch, and we go to the top of the 9th. Rockies and Phillies still tied at 1 apiece, and Hoffman's going to enter into the ballgame for Philadelphia. Wow. That was hit really, really sharply, too. That's wild. Huh. If you are new to the channel, hit the thumbs up button, man. What's going on, Jivanutes? How you doing? Make sure that you give your plugins down below as well, my guy. Appreciate that very, very much. Huh. One Gaming AC, hard to say. They will try to win for sure. New to B-ball here. You think that the Phillies are going to win? No bias. I think that the Rockies, with the way that things are going, the Rockies may take the lead at some point during the game. But that's all I'm going to say. I'm not really going to say too much else. But, hey, if the Phillies win tonight, I'd be happy with that. I really would be. Aaron Nola pitched really well today. Oh, Mr. Rudy Poo, what's going on, boy JJ? This is a bad baseball team. Well, I appreciate you for coming on, my guy. I'm sure that you were there with RB and with DJ and Romp and all those boys. I really appreciate you so much for being here and for coming on to support our channel. It means a lot. Shout out to you, man. Alvarado threw 2 pitches. That makes him unavailable the next 2 games. Well, Jeff Hoffman's gonna come in to pitch the 9th, and hopefully Jeff Hoffman can try to he can try to, I don't want to say calm the storm because there's nothing going on right now, but hopefully he can just try to get out of this inning, and it's just an easy inning for him. Hoffman is a 2.45 ERA in 7.1 innings of work. Opponents are batting .200 against him. Remember, Hoffman played for the Rockies, and then the Phillies were able to get him last year, and he was one of their key pieces out of the bullpen and has been, I think it's safe to say, he's been their best right-handed pitcher coming out of the bullpen. Ezequiel Tovar, who struck out twice and is grounded out. He's 0 for 3 today. He'll be the first victim that Hoffman has to face. We're in the top of the 9th, and the first pitch by Hoffman is a slider that's right down Broadway for a called strike. Tovar, McMahon, and Diaz all due up in this inning for the Rockies. The 0-1 on the way. Swing and a miss on a fastball that was just on the outside corner. And the count is 0-2. Rockies coming into today are 4-12, and the Phillies are 8-8. They split their last series against the Pirates. The 0-2 on the way from Hoffman. It's bounced foul. It just ricocheted off the ground right on the plate and then bounced over towards the third base side. So it's a dead ball. If you guys want to support the channel, please feel free to hit that donation button down below, the super chat button that is. No balls, 2 strikes, and the 0-2 on the way. It's popped up. It was a slider down the middle at 87, and Merrifield gets underneath it, and he'll catch the can of corn for out number 1 to start off the 9th. And now Ryan McMahon, batting on the left side once again, is due up. He has been a very good hitter for this Rockies team this season in particular. So here's the first pitch, and it's on the outside corner, painted right on the plaque for strike 1. McMahon tonight is 0 for 3. He's hitting .355 though on the season with 2 long balls and 11 RBI. The 0-1 pitch, a splitter that misses wide for the first ball of this at-bat. He's 29 years old. He's on a $70 million contract with the Colorado Rockies. 1 ball, 1 strike, and the next pitch is up. It's actually just outside for ball 2. So it's a $70 million 6-year contract. So his AAV is $11.6 million. One ball, 2 strikes to Ryan McMahon. 1 out in the top of the 9th. Base is empty. The 1-2 pitch bounced foul, and I think it just hit the kneecap, the right kneecap of McMahon as he got onto that right knee. Yikes. Remember, he had to take a step out of the box his last time up and got checked out by the trainer, so he's laughing with JT, and JT's like, man, you're not having a good day in the box, and he's like, what else is new? 1 ball, 2 strikes with 1 out in the top of the 9th. If somebody wants to answer that question for him, I would appreciate that. There is an explanation to it. The 1-2 pitch, swing and a miss. Strikeout. for Jeff Hoffman, and there's 2 away. Almost said strikeout number 2. But there's out number 2. So why did they call it the can of corn? It's just basically kind of like an old cliche. Like it's that's like one of the old time things that people used to say like back in the day. It's like an easy catch. That's like what they refer to. That's the whole meaning of it. It's a very old baseball saying, but I don't know how it started, says Larry. First pitch is just on the inside corner for a called strike to Elias Diaz. The ball's 1 strike. Hoffman gets set at the belt and throws the 0-1. It's upstairs for ball 1. It's just a fly ball that is so easy to catch that the fielder needs to only stand under the falling ball and let it drop. Speaking of fly ball, there's one out towards left field. It's going to go all the way towards the corner, and going into second base with a dive safely is Elias Diaz. So it was a line drive down the left field line, and Marsh did everything he could as he had to play it off a bounce off the wall and just threw a strike over to second, but not able to make the tag in time. Hit that thumbs up button. We need one more sub for us to get to 1970. Let's go, man. Thank you so much. I appreciate that very, very much. All right, so there's a 2-out double allowed, and Diaz will have a pinch runner come in. We'll get you the name in just a few moments. And here is Nolan Jones coming up to bat. All right. 2 outs and a runner over at second. So Diaz doubled. And Freeland is going to come in for Diaz here. First pitch by Jones. It gets away from JT, and going over to third is Freeland, and he's now 90 feet away from scoring. That's going to be ruled as a wild pitch. That was way inside, and JT wasn't able to get over to it. So Kyle Freeland literally just came in to pinch run. How about that for a change? They have their pitcher pinch running here in this situation. And Freeland, 1 ball, no strikes, and the next pitch is low for a ball. Freeland, last pitch on April 14th. And now they decide to intentionally walk Jones here. So that's going to put runners at the corners with still 2 outs. I don't think I've seen that in quite some time. So we're in the top of the 9th. Rockies up to bat. Phillies tied 1-1 at the bank. And Elehuris Montero is coming up. Elehuris Montero, excuse me. And he's facing Jeff Hoffman here with runners at first and third. 2 outs. First pitch. And that's going to bounce away from JT. And covering the plate is Hoffman. The throw to the plate. It's in time! What a play by realmuto! He just tagged out Kyle Freeland. And we go to the bottom of the 9th inning. Bud Black is looking to challenge this. And Freeland, he got banged up on the play. I think he had the trainer come out and talk to him, and he's going back to the dugout. I was really curious as to why he was literally in there just a pinch run. He got tagged right on the wrist. He's going back to the tunnel, and now Bud Black is going to challenge this play. So it took a wicked bounce. That was probably the wildest bounce I've ever seen. JT tried to block it. It bounced. Freeland was told to go. And Hoffman collided with Freeland at the plate. He was covering the bag, and I don't know if whether or not when he tagged Freeland, if he was out, but Freeland and him had a little collision at the plate, and I think he's out. I think he's just out. It's a little hard to tell, though. Hoffman did everything that he possibly could, and we have to wait and see what the call is. Let's look at this again. It was a good throw, too, by JT as well. That's like the weirdest thing that you're probably going to see in baseball, but you see a lot of weird things, and you never know what you're going to see any day. Here's the play. I don't think that he tagged. I don't know if he tagged him or not before Freeland went into home plate, but the cleat certainly touched his cleat, and he was grabbing onto that right shoulder, Kyle Freeland, and that's why he went back into the tunnel. And he just rolled over. He was in a lot of pain, and he got helped up, and he's now back into the tunnel. So they're going to review this call. Need some 4D cameras. I expect this to be a stay with the call on the field. Yeah, I don't know how they're going to rule this, because I'm sure that they're looking at so many angles. There's the replay review center. That's what they're showing an aerial shot, NBC Sports, of the camera. They probably have a camera in there that MLB allows them to use. It's going to be a tough play. Hoffman is having a conversation with Rob Thompson, and I think that's the assistant pitching coach for the Phillies, who's right next to him over towards his left side. They're still reviewing this, so DJ Rayburn has the earpiece in, Brendan Miller aiding him at his side. It wasn't a bad idea for Bud Black to challenge it, but I just question, why would you put in Kyle Freeland to pinch run in that type of situation? So, and a pitcher, I don't think that the blocking the plate rule applies to the pitcher. I think it's just for the catcher. And he wasn't really blocking the plate. He had to make a play. So let's see. So he's ruled out, and the call is confirmed, and Bud Black is absolutely fuming. Well, we go to the bottom of the ninth. Good job by Hoffman. Good job by the Philadelphia Phillies. Somebody's going to get ejected, and I can't tell who that is, but there's some words being exchanged with DJ Rayburn, and they go to a break as we go to the bottom of the ninth. Man, I can't understand why they would have Freeland pinch run. He just had a start on April 14th. This guy is so injury prone. Literally, he's so injury prone. Why would you put him in the spot to pinch run there? I mean, they could have went with somebody else off the bench. They literally had guys. I know Kris Bryant wasn't available for tonight's game, but they still had other guys that were out there that could have done that. And I'm just curious as to why it was him. Could have went to Jacob Stallings. I know that Stallings is not the fastest in the world, but they could have probably went with, I don't know, they probably could have went with Jake Cave. They could have went with Jake Cave. But anyhow, we go to the bottom of the ninth. Phillies looking to try to walk it off. Hopefully you're all doing well and having yourselves a very fantastic day. Jordan, my name is Jason. Did you just call me Jordan? Jordan, I was just going to watch the game. It was a long day at work. Someone explain, please. I don't know what you mean. Oh, Cave is out. He's sick? Okay, well, I guess he had to go to Freeland, but I don't know. He's injury prone, and I wouldn't have gone to him, but that's just me. Well, we go to the bottom of the ninth. Reminds me of Bob Melvin not pulling out Josh Hader in the 22 NLCS. That's a different story, but yeah. Oh, he was talking to me, JJ. Oh, I got you. I was like, oh, bro, I didn't see your comment before. I had to scroll up, so that's why. Well, anyhow, so here's Brandon Marsh at the plate. Mears is still out there for his second inning of work. The first pitch was in there for a strike. And Marsh with the next pitch, that's in there at the knees for a called strike as well. So Hoffman had some blood literally on his right buttocks. And that was probably from Kyle Freeland, obviously. Just banged his elbow. And I'm curious to see what the diagnosis of that's going to be. We'll keep you all up to date if anything comes about. The 0-2 upstairs for a ball. Destiny Lagardo just said, having one of your best pitchers run to home plate like this is insane. And he got injured. The 1-2 on the way, low and inside for ball 2. What a great play at the plate by JT Realmuto and Jeff Hoffman. That was really a nice play. It really was. Really, really was. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Marsh at the dish, and the 2-2 on the way, fouled back. So, Phillies were tied 1-1 in the top of the 9th. There were runners over at the corners. Kyle Freeland came in the pinch hit for Elias Diaz. And there was a wild pitch. It took a weird bounce, though. JT got it and just flipped it over to home plate. Hoffman had to cover home plate. Freeland came running in, got injured, but was tagged out to end the inning. The 2-2 pitch fouled back again. And it's still 2 balls, 2 strikes to Brandon Marsh. According to Luke Arcani, he said that Jeff Hoffman cut his finger on a wild pitch, and there's blood on the back of his pants. Freeland just ran the bases. The Phillies have just one run against the Rockies. The next pitch, strike 3 called, and Brandon Marsh will go back to the dugout. Sir Anthony Dominguez loosening up in the bullpen in case the Phillies have to go to extra innings. Oh, boy. I guess you can say those are 4-12 decisions. So here's Castellanos. He's 0 for 3 today. He's flied out, lined out, and struck out. Mears gets set and throws the first pitch. Fly ball hit out to left field. It's going back towards the track, and making the catch right at the wall is Jones. And the crowd settles back down. They started to roar, and Castellanos just missed a home run that would have been able to help the Phillies walk it off. He just missed a homer, too. It was back in the 3rd inning as well. And now Bryson Stott is coming up to bat for the Fightins. Stott got on with a walk and an infield single earlier in this game. And he takes a fastball right down Broadway for a called strike. He actually singled in his last at-bat, too, in the 7th. The 0-1 pitch to Stott, swing and a miss. Boy, did he get fooled on that inside slider. Man, oh, man. On deck is Whit Merrifield, who got the nod today over Alec Boehm. No balls, 2 strikes to Bryson Stott. Mears gets set, kicks, fires the pitch, grounder, hit over to second base, gobbled up, and the flip over to first is in time by Rogers. And now we go to the top of the 10th. It's extra innings and some free baseball for all the fans out there. Montero, Taglia, and Doyle will be leading things off when we return. All right, good for us because we get more people to come on here, so that's great. I know that you guys want the Phillies to win. I want the Phillies to win, but I want more people to come on and find out about our channel, so that's always a really cool thing. So make sure you guys hit the thumbs up button and subscribe to the channel as well, and that way you'll know when I go live. New score sheet. Here we go. So this is why we have these things. I gotta buy some more of these old ones. Starting to get low. So leading off the inning should be Jones. And I don't know who the base runner, the ghost runner, is gonna be over at at third. I guess it's going to be, Jones walked. So I stand corrected. So Jones is actually still going to be the ghost runner. So that's correct. Jones is still the ghost runner, and he's going to be over at second base. I don't think these holographic bats are working for the Phillies. This Phillies team is horrendous. Oh, boy. I hope that you guys are doing well, though. Hey, well, Nashville's making the comeback. They're down now 4-2 in the third period. Washington's up 1-0. All right, so this will be interesting to see what happens here. So we got extra innings of baseball coming right on up. Both teams with 1 run and 5 hits. Harper had an RBI single in the bottom of the third inning off of Quantrill, who pitched once upon a time for the Rockies. And Aaron Nola was able to get the start for the Phillies. And he pitched really well. Both of them went toe-to-toe against each other. And now Sir Anthony Dominguez on the mound for the Fightins as we head to the top of the 10th inning. There's Bud Black. He did not get ejected. I believe somebody else did. They didn't say who it was. But nonetheless, we're in the 10th inning. And the Phillies are tied at 1 apiece. So Jones is over at second. And Luis Montero is coming up to bat. Here's Dominguez. And the windup and the pitch is way outside at 88 miles per hour for ball 1. Montero's 0 for 3. He's grounded out twice, and he also struck out as well. The strikeout was back in the 7th inning. The pitch from the stretch, swing and a miss. We are there, Katie, in extras right now. Looks like we're going to have to go to extra innings at this rate. Well, here we are. We're in extra innings. Katie, you are probably behind. I apologize about that. 1 ball, 1 strike, and the next pitch way outside for ball 2. The Mets and the Pirates are tied 3-3 in the bottom of the 7th. The Yankees, they trail 3-1 to the Toronto Blue Jays in the top of the 8th. And the Marlins, they're down to their final out against the Giants. They led it 3-0, and they're down 4-3. The 2-1, it's a foul ball. JT thought that he played it fair. It was a bouncer right back to home plate. And he tried to tag Montero, and DJ's like, nope, that's a foul ball. So the count is still 2-2. Four pitches for Dominguez in this at-bat. It's 2 balls, 2 strikes. And the 2-2 pitch. Line drive caught over at first by Harper. He makes the leaping catch off the end of the bat by Montero, and there's 1 out in the 10th inning. This guy is literally just unbelievable. Shows off his athleticism and just makes a game-saving type of a play as he just got it into the heel of the glove as he leaped up to make the jumping catch. And that was a rocket hit over his way. Michael Toglia, who homered back in the 5th inning off of Aaron Nola, made it a tie game, is due up to bat. The pitch, way up high. Good job by JT. Just get into a standing position and catch that. Padres have a 7-3 lead in the bottom of the 5th against Milwaukee, and the Braves lead at 2-1. They go into the top of the 4th inning. Those are all the scores that we update you on. The 1-0 pitch, a slider that's in there for a strike, and the count is even at 1 apiece. Toglia is 25 years old. He is a switch hitter and throws with his left hand. He's from Phoenix, Arizona. Stands at 6'5", 226 pounds. The 1-1 upstairs, and the count is now 2-1. Coming into today, he's 1 for 10 during his last 7 days and has scored 2 runs. He had a homer coming into today. and that was a couple of days ago. The 2-1 pitch, that's served foul. This season he does have 4 homers, 3 coming into today. But he was able to homer against the Arizona Diamondbacks on Wednesday, April 10th. So 2 balls, 2 strikes. Tataglia Dominguez still on the mound. Gets set the letters. The 2-2 pitch just a hair up high, and the count is now full at 3-2. Taglia with 2 strikes, just batting 111 on the season. Ghost runner at second, the 3-2 on the way. Fly ball hit out towards right center field. Rojas goes back, and it will make the catch in front of the track. The throw over to third base is not in time. It was cut off by Turner over at shortstop, and the ghost runner from second tags up and goes over to third. And now the Phillies need one more out to get out of the jam. That line out, or that play by Harper at first was absolutely clutch. But let's see if Dominguez can get the final out. It's Brenton Doyle who is due up next. Two outs, and the first pitch to Doyle. There's a fly ball hit out towards right field. Castellanos calls off Rojas and makes the catch, and that's the end of the inning. So we go to the bottom of the 10th. The Phillies will try to walk it off as they'll have the ghost runner. And Merrifield will lead things off when we return. Rojas batting second and Pache batting third. Wow. That was clutch by Bryce, man. Good job by Sir Anthony to get out of it, but really, really good job by Bryce Harper. That was unbelievable. If you are new, hit the thumbs up button. Philly Take with RB, baby, what's up? RB, thanks so much for the donation, my guy. Thanks for the super chat. You're the best, bro. I can't wait to tune into what you did tonight with DJ and Sean and Romp and all those guys. I can't wait for that. I'm so excited. Wish I could have been there live, but obviously, I had to take care of the business. But thank you, man. I do appreciate this. I do appreciate the super chat. Love you, my bro. Love you guys. Y'all are the best. Can't argue with my tattoo. All right, so the Flyers, as we go to the bottom of the 10th here, as we have this break, I just wanted to mention the Flyers need they need the Capitals to lose. They could use a Capitals loss. They need the Penguins to lose. They're up 4-2, and Detroit is losing, so that's a good thing for them. So they still have a shot at getting into the playoffs, but that is what is at stake there. It's 9:20 p.m. Eastern Time. Sir Anthony Dominguez really was able to close the door there, but Bryce Harper was able to save his bacon on a nice jumping catch over at first. And here's Jake Bird. Phillies hoping to give him the double bird and walk it off. See what I did there? I try. 8 games this season as a 5.0 ERA, 9 innings, and has 4 strikeouts and 3 walks allowed. And I mean that, of course, in a friendly way as well. So we have a pinch runner, or Stott going to be over at second base. I think that's Stott. Yes, it is. So here's Whit Merrifield to lead things off in the bottom of the 10th. Phillies trying to walk it off. Stott is the ghost runner. He's over at second base. And Rojas waits in the on-deck circle. Merrifield chokes up on his bat. The first pitch by Bird. Merrifield shows bunt. It's down the third base line. And the throw to first is in time. Well, the runner from second, Stott, goes over to third. It was a beautiful bunt that was shown by Merrifield. And now Bud Black has to make a decision on what to do. High fives coming around the Phillies dugout. And Merrifield able to have a productive at-bat there. Nobody was covering third base. McMahon was not even covering the bag. But there's one out, and now Stott is 90 feet away from scoring. And Bird wants to have a conversation with Diaz. And Alec Boehm is being introduced as the pinch hitter for the Fightins. So this is where Rob Thompson plays chess, and we have a timeout on the mound, it looks like Bud Black is going out there, and he's going to make another signal to the bullpen, and that's going to be it for Bird. So just one pitch. It was a bunt, a sacrifice bunt by Whit Merrifield. Are they going to pull him or no? Bud Black was coming out there. Usually that means that the manager's going to pull the pitcher. Somebody's getting a new glove. I think that's McMahon that's getting a new glove over at third as he tossed it all the way to the bat boy. So there's one out in the bottom of the 10th. Bud Black is now going back to the dugout. Have not signaled for a pitch and change, I believe. Huh. So that's interesting. So they're going to have him face Alec Bohm here in the bottom of the 10th. I thought that the new rules didn't allow it. Doesn't he have to face the 3-batter rule? That's probably what he was told. So that's probably what happened. Well, one out in the bottom of the 10th. Here's Alec Bohm. The first pitch to Bohm. Fly ball hit out to right field. It's hooking foul, and it goes out of play. I thought the new rules didn't allow that. I thought so, too. That's why I was a little confused as to why he's going out there, because it was just one pitch. That's exactly what I thought. Y'all thought the same thing that I thought. No balls, one strike to Alec Bohm. The third pitch. There's a grounder hit back over to shortstop. It's bobbled, but the throw over to first is in time. The runner from third, Stott, did not even go to home plate. It was knocked down by Tovar. And, well, there's 2 outs, and not a good at-bat there by Alec Bohm. Phillies have had plenty of opportunities to try to get runs on the board and have come up empty over the last 7 innings. I should really say 6 2/3. And now Christian Pache looking to be a hero here. He came in for Kyle Schwarber to pinch run. The pitch, line drive into right field for a base hit. And Stott's going to score. The Phillies win 2-1. And Pache walks it off against the Rockies. So an opposite field single by Pache, and they are hauling him out in right field as they pour the Gatorade on him, and Pache smiling, and he gets hugs and high fives from Stott and Marsh. The Phillies win in extra innings on a walk-off RBI single by Christian Pache. Oh, man, he gets smiles, and now he hugs Bryce Harper. It's his first walk-off hit of his career, and it was on the first pitch. It was a fastball right down the pipe. He took it the opposite way, right into the 3-4 hole, and helped the Phillies win 2-1. Let's go. Let's go. Oh, man. Well, the Phillies went on a walk-off RBI single by Christian Pache. And remember, he came in the pinch hit for Kyle Schwarber. I don't know if Rob Thompson really drew that up for that scenario, but it worked. Crazy. So the Phillies take game 1 of this 3-game series. It took them 10 innings to do so, but they got an RBI single by Christian Pache to help them get the 2-1 victory as he gets some fist pumps and high fives and hugs around the Phillies dugout. It was a nice hit, too. Hit sharply just in between those spots. That's crazy. Oh, boy. Tell the captain I called it before, Luke. Let's go. I'm watching you on my TV since MLB.TV wasn't working all game. Well, Den Brew, this is why you got us, man. This is why you got us, bro. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. We will be back on tomorrow night. How about Christian Pache, man? And let's not forget either, okay, Bryce Harper's play at first base. That was huge. Let's not forget JT Realmuto's throw to home plate and Hoffman's tag, because all that really mattered as well. Yes, the bats did not play well. Yes, Aaron Nola had a very good game but did not get the win. But hey, a win is a win, and I'm really happy that the Phillies were able to capitalize. And I have to point out so many different things. I have to make sure I point out the play by JT. I have to make sure that I point out the tag by Hoffman. I have to make sure that I point out the nice catch over at first by Bryce Harper. And also the really nice catch out in left center field by Johan Rojas, too. And also, how about the bunt by Merrifield, man? That was, like, really shocking to me that he just laid down the bunt in that situation. I wasn't thinking he was going to do that, but that was a perfect bunt to get Stott over to third base and set up Christian Pache for that moment. I wish Bohm would have came up with a hit there, but hey, Pache did it, and we'll take it. You know what I mean? I appreciate y'all so much for tuning in. Make sure you guys hit that thumbs up button and hit that subscribe button on here. We cover the Phillies, the Sixers, and the Eagles on here, man. We grind, and we love it, all right? I love you all, and we will catch you all on the next one. Thoughts on the game down below. What are your thoughts? Comment one word to describe this game. One word. One word. One word. I want to hear one word to describe this game, man. One word. Thanks so much, JJ. Great call, man. Relief, says Hardcore for All. Relief from the relief pitchers. The relief pitchers were great, and relief that they won. It was rocky. I love the puns. I love these puns, man. I love the puns. Rocky, says Snooter Prod. Oh, man. Any other words before we sign off about this game? Any other ones? Rocky and relief are good ones. How about, my dad says fantasy. I guess he meant to say fantastic. But, yes, I think I got the picture. But, yeah. All right, cool. Good stuff. Nice job, Christian Pache. He's getting interviewed. He has his translator over towards his left side. I'm curious to see if what the update's going to be on Kyle Freeland, but that sucks. And, yeah, you're right. Bud Black didn't have anybody else to go to. And he had to go to Freeland, so I thought maybe they were going to try to go to somebody else, but nobody else was available. Fantastic, yes, is what I meant to say. Kathy says one. Shout out to Kathy, man. Shout out to Kathy. We love you, Kathy, and we hope that you're doing well. And we're still sending our prayers and our love for you all the way to Arizona. Great call, JJ. See you, man. Yep, I will see you guys on the next one. I'm done. I'm going to wrap things up now. We'll be back on tomorrow night, and then we got the Sixers on Wednesday. We're doing a pregame show for the play-in tournament, and we'll take your phone calls. Tomorrow night, we'll also take your phone calls on the Phillies, too. We'll do a little postgame show tomorrow night. Tonight, I got to get off because I'm sweating bullets up here. It is really hot. I will catch you all, though, on the next one. Laila Tov, good night. See you soon.